Whether for honor, for glory, for revenge, for power, who is willing to do what it takes by any means necessary to get their way? We will find out tomorrow night on TNA Plus as TNA brings to us from the Big Easy, where nothing will be as said, but certainly there will be a sacrifice in more ways than one. And with that being said, welcome to TNA Wrestling, Sidney Predicting, and welcome once again into the discussion. Let's go ahead and get right into this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back here once again to another edition of Simply Predicting as I continue my nonstop sprint of streaming, it seems, in some capacity. Good grief. But you know what this is, for I am the simple man, the simple brand, the voice wrestler, for a great for professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noel Foster. So thank you all for tuning in, whether live or on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. And if you want to dictate the conversation, PayPal the Passions or Super Chat at Cassie 18 Studios. It's as simple as that. Before we get into things, let's go around the horn and introduce the panel for tonight. If you all don't know, you soon will know soon enough as they have become the regular Fantastic Four you have come to see on your screen, particularly for TNA Wrestling, because someone still has to give this place some sort of impact. Damn it. First and foremost, he may not be on screen, but he always pops out outside NYC on the street, and it's always good to have him part of the conversation. He's truly become one of the own here in the Simple Studios family, Super Predicting. It's good to have Charles Schultz. Charles, speak now, forever hold your peace. How you feel about TNA Sacrifice tomorrow night? Good to hear you.
Yeah, let's just see how it goes. I'm more questioning about the Mike Santana match more than anything.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be a heavy topic of conversation in more ways than one. And I don't believe you are alone in that mindset. So thank you for that. But it's good to have you as always. And of course, as we always get interactive with Avatar Man, the definition of the owner, CEO, founder, moderator, co-signer, bringer, and sometimes the manual card inventor of interactive games and movies. It is one half of the VIP Silver Studios, the other half of the Dominguez. Shout out to Arlene who continues to pursue higher education. Shout out to Aunt Perazo that's currently trying to further endeavors of that in her own home city. Shout out to the Perazo of Honor. Of course, I am talking about Mr. TNA Predictions. Please subscribe, and we'll see how well he does in this year's league. Emmanuel, how you feel about TNA Sacrifice? Good to see you again.
Yeah, kind of interested in some storylines. I mean, like, it's been but there's one more interest peak with the Santana vs. Macklin match. That's the real interesting one. Like that storyline has been on point. It has accomplished what you expected, and I can't wait to see that match. To be honest, I'm not sure about the rest of the card, what they announced so far, but like. Because I've been seeing some episodes, but I'm not sure which one's official yet or which are. But I'd be intrigued which one made it to the cut.
Well, that's why I keep up with everything, even the most mundane, the mid, the underwhelming, the questionable, and the sometimes why Summer Miller am I doing this? But that's what it means to be a fan of all things professional wrestling. Shout out to the AW fan. And thank you for that, Emmanuel. And speaking of, a guy that has adopted that philosophy for the independence more than anything, being reinvigorated by this business. And again, you continue to follow us along on our road to Polder Mania with the incredible talent we interviewed from there, as well as shout out to, of course, Stoli, of course, that we had earlier for Title Match Network. And you all will learn more about that, of course, towards the end of this podcast. The Renegade Wrestling, J.J. Williams, the CEO of Casting Studios, and the brainchild and the hardest working man, not named me or Walter Cruz, shout out to Mr. Reliable, of the SR Studio 2024 that you are watching on right now if you are on the X. And if you are, please share and tell and subscribe and follow. And thank you so much. Renegade Wrestling, J.J. Williams. J.J., hey, we're both tired. We're both kind of sick, but we're still here trying to bring an impact. How you feeling this fine evening, my friend?
I am feeling well, at least as well as I can be.
Right.
A little bit of a scratchy throat, a little bit of congestion, but you know what? I had to show up and show out for our interview this evening. Mm-hmm. Again, we'll get more in depth in that during the shows at the end. Mm-hmm. And I had to be here to support you, bro. So, I am about as clueless as can be when it comes to recent TNA. despite having TNA Plus, I have not watched any Impact recently. I have made sure to keep up on the Rosemary storyline because as Easter approaches, that may not be the only bunny that comes around.
I'm just going to leave it at that, but I will say a person on
Hey,
sacrifice.
all I know is that even though this TNA has been quickly becoming not Noah's TNA, if a certain bunny returns in full, I think Noah will do a complete 180 on that philosophy,
Hey,
despite the NXT, not his NXT involvement.
every time I try and keep my heart hardened, he finds a way to pierce through the freaking covering armor of it to try and
Eh,
make it soften.
Hey, it's not me that makes it soften, it's Allie. It is the bunny.
All I'm going to say is this. Someone got a note to follow the bunny as Rosemary severs ties with the past and all things fall not to decay. One step closer to a resurrection of Demon X Bunny and TNA. Yay, Ali. Yes, please. And I'm going to leave it at that. But thank you for that, JJ. And shut it, Charles. And you shut it too.
Hey, you should be proud that if I have kept up with nothing else from recent weeks, it is this angle, this storyline that has captivated my attention and made me seek out clips on a consistent basis.
All right, I'm very proud of you, and it is truly the one thing that has 110% of my attention. So I could also relate and respect that honestly. So all right, I'll give credit where credit's due because even I can be a humble, simple man in that type of endeavor. So very proud of you. And yes, of course, I am always going to be TNA faithful, whether it's 100%, 50%, 10%, 1%, bunny level percent. But that being said, Sacrifice versus last year, at least this one actually features the World Championship being defended versus a very piss poor built steel cage, if y'all remember that freaking car wreck. But yeah, the Sacrifice card has some intrigue as, of course, we continue in the genesis, what still feels like a genesis, you get my opinion, of TNA on AMC. Anything but wrestling almost, it seems. But nonetheless, there definitely is some cause and effect to happen that will definitely shape up Rebellion if I get the predictions that I want. And of course, you all know your predictions matter too. The forum will be live come the morning, Friday morning, some point after 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you will have until literally the start of the show itself. Fudge it, no. I'm going because I'm going to make sure I apply the same rules across all leagues after that bullcrap the Fed pulled. You have till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Friday night to make your predictions final. Your predictions will not matter nor not count unless they are submitted via Google Form. That includes all the panelists here as we give you our initial thoughts. But without further ado, simply predicting community, panelists, TNA faithful, enthusiasts, wrestling galores, hardcore, casual, or newcomers, and stalkers if you are in the chat, and if you're also part of the hive, like I. Let's get right into it. So again, folks, this is the next TNA special for the calendar year 2026, available exclusively on TNA Plus for TNA Plus members. This is TNA Sacrifice. It comes to us from the Big Easy in New Orleans, and it does have a countdown with 2 matches. They will start 7 p.m. Standard Time. Here, of course, in our predictions list, the countdown, they don't matter. So we're not going to really focus on that. There's more to talk about with the main card. And the actual show itself will start 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time exclusively for TNA Plus subscribers. But please stay tuned to bring you our own more in-depth preview and coverage, including the countdown where maybe BD becomes part of the X Division and something relevant. We'll find out soon enough. As we will be going live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday night. Now let's go ahead and get right into things. When it comes to TNA, when it comes to TNA PLEs and specials, no one sets the pace or gives that energy of tap that bleep than the division that truly is about no limits. As we look at the youngest in charge versus someone that has lived and died 6 times over, but has won virtually every title here and is a TNA original. So we're going to start things off with the X Division Championship. as Leon Slater will defend the gold against the world-class maniac Eric Young, where we never knew what the cleanse meant, but we all know what this could mean because we all know Leon Slater still has that chance if he chooses. Option C. For if you hold the X Division Championship, you could possibly cash it in for a future TNA World Championship match. Unfortunately, Leon Slater, he might be coming in here not at 100% after eating what might be the most dangerous pile driver in freaking TNA, cursing at that freaking maniac Eric Young after recently suffering a neck injury. But we all know the pride of the youngest X Division champion in TNA history, going on back to the inaugural one with the phenomenal, now retired, AJ Styles. Tonight, we saw Eric Young take on, of course, Brad Attitude. And yes, folks, I know, independent name, but nonetheless, it still adds momentum because, again, Eric Young is going in here with all the focus after hitting him with a pile driver to score the pinfall. Another match is sent to the champion. After Eric Young chased off referees, and again, pretty much right now, no one can seem to control this world-class maniac. Can Leon Slater keep his grip on the TNA X Division Championship that he's held since last year, believe it or not, folks? Slammiversary after being the face of the franchise, or is the world-class maniac one step closer bringing a world violent by design back to life with him holding the cornerstone of TNA wrestling? Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think about this match. Of course, here at Cindy Predicting, when it comes to the quality and quality of a card, it usually comes down to one disposition, agree or disagree. Since this has the magic number, in my opinion, for a proper level PLE of 7, everyone will speak their piece. We're going to start first and foremost with a man that holds the Generation 1 X Division Championship and knows more about the X Division than me, if you can believe it, going all the way back to the future, who's now the present, who's not even involved in the championship conversation for the time being. Hi, JJ. Eric Young, Leon Slater. We've seen Leon Slater in and out across WWE, NXT, and TNA, but he still is the TNA X Division champion. With people already wondering, what if he loses the title? Is he going to go to NXT like someone else we believe in and see what happens there? That aside, Eric Young, again, does he need this championship again? Do we need to run this back? What the frick is this cleanse? Does he cleanse TNA if he gets the TNA championship again? Do we finally bring that back to life? I don't freaking know. But do you think Leon Slater, with a bad neck, somehow overcomes Eric Young and holds on still the X Division championship? Go ahead.
I completely do. Leon Slater has come too far to drop it at this point. I fully expect him to make it all the way to Slammiversary.
Oh, wow. Going way year for year. Sheesh.
Mm-hmm. And realistically, depending on what kind of competition they have lined up from its Slammiversary, I could see him holding it till Bound for Glory.
I mean, they do need to.
Leon Slater is the best X Division wrestler pound for pound since the original era.
I would not argue that.
He belongs in the conversation along with names like Low Key, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Samoa Joe, Petey Williams, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Amazing Red.
I praise and I agree. All right. So that being said, we got one for the champion retaining. And with that being said, we'll go counterclockwise with this first match, and I will also agree. I do think Leon Slater truly brings a standard to the X Division we have not seen since the likes of Josh Alexander or Moose, who was the last great heavyweight to hold this championship and hold it to a higher prestige than the TNA World Championship, if you can believe it. Taking on all comers and going across all platforms presenting this championship, not to mention he right now has held this championship for quite a number of prolific defenses, including against the likes of Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann. Cedric Alexander, former Heart and Soul 205 Live. Rich Swann, former X Division champion in his own right. And of course, Myron Reed, the Rascal, now in AEW. He's had an incredible run with this title, and I do think the young man's heart and determination will outweigh whatever damage he could be sustaining on his neck. We saw how close one of the brightest up-and-comers right now in TNA wrestling came to being Eric Young on the last PLE No Surrender, BDE, even after hitting his cutter. Unfortunately, he suffered a pile driver and suffered the same fate. But I think Leon Slater, if nothing else, leveraged my play to his favor because he's shorter. I think Leon Slater is going to find a way to outlast this world-class maniac. Someone has to do this crazy man without trying to kill him again, knowing he'll resurrect himself. And I hope Leon Slater is the answer to that conversation. So yeah, I got Leon Slater retaining as well. Charles, what do you think about this? And do you think Leon Slater will only focus on the SG Championship? Keep in mind, again, option C is there. And we know that Sonya Deville, the suit, of course, that tells you to shut up, I'm talking. We know she's trying to be very influential in the TNA Authority landscape and the TNA World Championship picture. Do you think that she might try and prey on Leon Slater if he retains to maybe cash it in and go after Mike Santana? We saw what happened in the main event at No Surrender, and he was able to outlast a handicap match and pin a former TNA World Champion. Just saying. Not to mention beat him when he was defending the title. But what do you think about Leon Slater as the champion? You see him still going on?
Yep, pretty much. I expect him to retain here, but I do expect option C to be used. It's been a very long while since we had option C being used.
True.
That's going to be rectified this year. When? I don't know. Maybe it could be at Slammiversary option C gets used. Or Rebellion, who knows?
The last time it was used was literally Bound for Glory. I think it was Frank Kazarian when he beat Speedball Mike Bailey. Now that I think about it, I don't think no one's used option C since. At least I can't recall.
Believe so. So that's why I see happen out of this.
All right. Fair enough. Manuel, let's go ahead and close your thoughts out here. Is this match unanimous, or are you already going to throw a monkey wrench into the conversation when it comes to TNA Wrestling's X Division? Lord help me if I just freaking open up a Pandora's box. Amanda, what you got to say regarding that for the championship and Leon Slater's run? Do you still have Leon Slater retaining?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're unanimous. No, there's no Emmanuel card being played.
Good man.
For this. Yeah, there's no Emmanuel card for this one.
Yet.
Yet.
Keyword.
Yet.
I know who I'm dealing with. Keyword yet. Continue.
But yes, it would be such a curveball if, for some reason, we finally see Eric Young's the clans finally come out of a peach show. It would not make sense. Then I'd be questioning TNA. What the heck are you doing, premiering new people in the kickoff show? Now in the pay-per-view.
Right.
So. But yeah, Leon needs to win this. Like, then have the tab for a year, maybe pushing even longer. But like, he's on fire. He's the best baby face attraction that besides Santana, in my opinion. But like, you have to keep that momentum going.
All right. Good deal. Well, good job so far, everybody. And shout out to Matt Helms. And again, to all you in the chat, thank you so much. And again, please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. And again, if you want to dictate the conversation, Super Chat or PayPal of Passions is as simple as that. Thank you again. And also, as you can see, we are currently doing a pledge drive here at the Super Level Studios. So if you can, please support us today and PayPal, as you see right there. Thank you for that note. All right. Well, that being said, that note's going to be far more viable than this next match. I need to add a fart sound next time I get something like this on my screen because Stone Cold, quote unquote, what? Like, seriously, I want you all to look at this graphic and I want you to try and visualize a story that made sense how this happened. And yes, was the actual match. So, what? But yes, you are looking at a tag match. We have Elijah, the guy who put Mustafa Ali in a guitar-shaped coffin, and the man who's everyone's favorite from your hometown, the hometown man in tag team action.
Against the man who is having the greatest run of his career, AJ Francis, and the undisputed
here we go.
King
Here
of
we go.
TNA.
Oy.
Frankie, the
Okay.
future,
You know what?
now the
Whatever.
present,
Mm-hmm.
Kazarian.
Yeah, you got it all out. You got it all out there.
Look, you were taking too long to bestow the greatness that is needed on this team, and I knew you weren't going to do them justice.
Hell no.
So I had to jump in there, get the hot tag, and give these men the respect that they deserve.
Oh my.
Because you sure as fuck weren't going to do it.
Well, I mean, hell, the hometown man gets more respect now because he beat your boy Frank Kazarian in a singles match in his hometown, and then Flopdower came
Every
out of town.
town is his hometown.
He still won, damn it! And nonetheless, he won and beat your boy clean as a whistle in the middle of a ring via a fracking roll up. Bottom line, your boy lost.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
Has the hometown man been X Division champion?
No. Well,
Has the hometown man been TNA Tag Champion?
No.
Has the hometown man been TNA World Heavyweight Champion?
All right, you're just gonna keep going along here right now.
I'm just trying to make a point here. The hometown man may have gotten a victory. Good on him. I am not going to hate on the hometown man. Everybody deserves a hometown hero. But at the same time, wins only matter when they're important wins.
All right. Anyway, well, this is not important, and neither is the other team. But that being said, Flopdower was on
You're right.
commentary.
The Elijah and the hometown man team is not important. You're 100%. You finally say something we agree on, Noah.
I did. Anyway,
Don't even, JJ.
And you know what? We're gonna go into Simple Man tonight if we don't get off this match quicker than a friggin' John Oliver roasting rant. But that being said, bottom line, hometown man beat Frank Kazarian while Flop was on the freaking commentary table. Elijah came in though and slammed the guitar into Flop's back to aid his friend, as hometown man Elijah are mutuals, which led to this conflict. Straight up, it's a conflict tag grudge match, folks. It's as simple as that. So that being said, he started first last time. We're gonna go freaking crisscross this time. Hi, Charles. Let's see if we can make this more viable out of something from a manhole, if possible. What do you got to say regarding this match? What team do you got winning? Hometown man keeps the advantage, or does Kazarian and AJ Francis somehow make that money and make everybody freaking rant?
First of all, you know who I'm going with on this just because in this match. You should know by now. I was want to get on JJ for that, what he was saying about the whole man's team, who his partner was. That's number one. Exactly. I'm going with the hometown man and Elijah to win this. Oh, who's back, Elijah?
He literally walks with Elijah. He'll walk with Elijah for the damn desert to Las Vegas. The biggest roadie I've ever heard for freaking Elijah. All right. Okay. So that being said, he's got Elijah in the hometown man.
Exactly.
Good. Okay. Very good. Very, 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 very simple. All right. Emmanuel, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, that's right. I said crisscross. My brain already hurts from this. I knew my brain was going to freaking go into a whole tailspin because of this match. Now, why JJ endorses the self-proclaimed former king of TNA, like I have to ask what prediction he's going to go with, but fuck it. Let's get an opposite opinion, shall we? And make it 1-1. So go ahead, JJ. Speak the greatness of that team and tell me why they win.
You're 100%, Noah. I'm definitely going to go for my boy, Frankie Kazarian.
I know.
And the former top dollar.
Oh, bloody hell.
AJ Francis. Again, considering that the hometown man just got a fluke victory on the go-home show, you're going to give the 50-50 booking. You're going to let Frankie and AJ get the dub here. Frankie needs a big dub on a pay-per-view. AJ's been jobbing a lot on pay-per-views.
Accurate.
They deserve a good victory here. the hometown man cannot win in every hometown.
No.
He's got to lose sometimes. And this is going to be one of those glorious L's as the king trounces on that peasant that is the hometown man. And Elijah, poor Elijah, is just going to have to walk that lonely road, the only road that he has ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's only him, and he walks alone. Back the fuck out of there. And there's one man who I know agrees with me. And while I'm sure the king of TNA would agree with me, he's not here, but there is someone who popped in the green room who, if you want to bring him on stage, Noah, I know agrees with me.
Yeah, I know that we got the court jester, the king, and the royal court all here tonight because, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff motherfucking Meacham is on City Predicting once again tonight.
I'm sitting here trying to get my office reestablished after being gone for a week, and Mucker Brothers are disparaging the king of TNA. I had to hop in here. Some bullshit.
Hey, Jeff.
Seriously.
I'm an
seriously.
handicap.
God damn. Like, man. All right, look.
Listen.
Yeah, listen. There's shit going on. Okay, sorry, wrong show, wrong character. Anyway, a lot of shit. A lot of shit.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I told JJ I was going to attempt to tell you no, and did not have the opportunity. I have not watched near enough TNA to be a productive member of this panel for this pay-per-view that I am going to get to watch tomorrow, thankfully, which I love because I'm off tomorrow. But nice. I will say that I came for two reasons here. One, to support you because I know that you were unable to be part of the interview earlier, so I wanted to make sure I threw some support your way. And here I come to support you in your endeavor to simply predict the wondrous brand that is TNA Wrestling, and you're disparaging its very monarch. So now I got to come in here and talk some shit. So, which is fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Great. It's fine.
You know, whatever. Fine. Go for it. Fine. Shoot the breaks.
It's fine. Look, I like Elijah as much as the next guy. He was solid to me at Rebellion when I went last year before Carlos took it away from us and gave it to you all fucks in Ohio. Which is fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Damn.
You're the one that brought it up, apparently. Continue.
Okay, Carlos and I are gonna have a word. Anyway, I'm in the middle. To me, I have the TNA banner above me. Haha, I'm defending the company.
You know that actually is more appropriate, honestly. Continue.
Day one ish, man. Day one ish. God help me.
You and me both.
I like Elijah. I do. I liked him as Elias. I even liked him as Ezekiel, much to Kevin Owens' chagrin. I will say that. They were the same person, Kevin. I acknowledge that, sir. I acknowledge that, Kevin.
They were not the same person.
Thank you, JJ. I was going to say that.
Ezekiel did not have a beard.
No. We are not
exactly, JJ. I agree.
Oh, shut up.
This is the way we stir the chaos, stir the chaos, stir the chaos.
This is
it's down to the feast privilege. Anyway, that's bullshit, but that's okay.
Like hell.
And the hometown man, where are they for Sacrifice? New Orleans?
Yes.
If the hometown man is going to be on the show, he's going to be too freaking liquored up from Mardi Gras to even be worth a damn in this match. So, whatever.
That's fair.
And if he's not liquored up, he's going to be full off of Tiana's gumbo and her home cooking.
Beignets.
Yes.
Dude, I have two different groups coming into Disneyland next week that specifically asked me where the Mint Julep bar was. I'm like, I got you with beignets. We can go downtown. We good. Goddamn, people, just breathe.
Culture right there, folks. That's culture.
These beignets on this property, like, if you ever want to find a reason to not leave Disney, the beignets. It's one of the many. But you've got this singing. This singing man who clearly has no idea who he really is. He has an identity crisis issue. He's got issues, this man, and that's fine. Then you've got this hometown man who can't decide. He has residency issues. He has no idea where he actually lives.
He makes every town his home, Jeff. That's his thing.
It's because he can't maintain a stay more than want him around for more than one show. They get him the fuck out of there. It's okay. It's fine. And then you've got a man who has left to venture off and seek fortune and fame elsewhere and realized time and time again that this brand needs Frankie Kazarian, that this brand needs a man who was once touted the future, the man who is still the coolest wrestler alive when it comes to NoDQ.com and our voting viewers, and he's a king, he's a champion, he is a proud Angels fan, which makes him brave as hell.
Yeah, right.
Especially opening day. Hey, you know what? For the next month and a half, hey, we're in first place. Yeah, yes. We're getting all our shit in now because come May 15th, Mike Trout's going down with injury. We're fucked again.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. You're welcome. That was a Perry Saturday moment. I don't know what just happened there. I'm sorry. I had a little bit of a tick.
No. It's a sub tangent. But anyway, back to the
fine. Oh, good. I just could not sit by here as I try to ready my office for the weekend because I am going to be here next weekend for the shenanigans and all throughout the week doing the No DQ review, the Greg Cherry Show, and shenanigans with Izzy Moreno. So, but as I'm sitting here listening, I got this guy. Oh, gotta get this guy over here. Well, no, I actually have this guy trying to say, hey, you know, Noah's in here not giving the king his flowers, and I'm going, huh? So I go in, I listen for a few minutes, and I go, okay, yeah, we're going in. Mr. Foster, you know I respect you. You know I love you as a brother. You know that I am so grateful to you for being able to do all the commentary that's going to be WrestleMania week, because if we don't have to give you a resuscitation every night and make sure you have plenty of Mountain Dew and water to get you through that week, we will find a way to keep you surviving, because some people get to go to Vegas and enjoy themselves and partake in the many things. Other of us have to stay behind and run the show. And I get that, man.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
You know, I'm fine. Budget. You know.
But you will not disrespect the king of TNA wrestling as long as I am within earshot. It will not happen.
Fine, but I'm still going to say flop now until the day I can't speak.
Oh, no, you are more than welcome to brag on AJ Francis. I am here for that. I will co-sign that every day.
The 180.
See, and
The 180.
I have been trying my damnedest to get Noah to curve himself when it comes to the former Flop Dollar.
Okay.
Because anybody with half of one good eye and two brain cells can see that he is having the run of his lifetime right now.
Yes.
And so the era of Flop Dollar needs to be buried somewhere. And AJ Francis needs to be given some respect. Some respect needs to get put on that man's name.
After giving one of the worst talk show segments in history, where I might as well fly coach for life if it avoids the VIP penthouse, hail to the no. This guy has wasted more airtime in my life in this realm of TNA wrestling than I can remember.
And we all lived through the Hogan era, folks.
Exactly.
I will say this. AJ Francis can go a long way this weekend if he can aid true wrestling and TNA royalty into victory. And if this team somehow loses with Frankie as one of the participants, I mean, what are
you going to say then?
If this team loses and AJ Francis takes the fall, I got to keep siding in with this guy now. JJ, I'm sorry. But if Frankie somehow slips on a banana peel, hits his head, pulls a Jeff Meacham, and is concussed for a weekend, then, you know, that is what it is. And I'll blame myself for that, really, because much like we're responsible for MJF within the No DQ community, it'll be my friendship with Frankie that distracts him and makes him slip up, because clearly he won't do that his own self. Frankie's too good for that shit.
That's
you
right.
would know. I'm about to say, y'all don't know the connections by now with these two. Then where the hell have you been?
And I will say is I do need to dip out, unfortunately, because I do need to get for real back to work. But I will say, if you don't know the connection between Frankie and you don't know the history of Jeff Meacham, which I again, I'm not so arrogant to think that everybody knows. I actually did an interview this morning. I don't know when it's going to go up. He just did an interview with Greg Cherry as well. Tom Talks Rubbish over on Twix. We spent about 45 minutes just him gushing over me mainly and asking me the important questions, which I still find so funny that people want to interview. I get the same feeling when I first walked into their apartment back in 2009, and I had two very distinctly different personalities, both Jeff Meacham in the middle of their living room. I'm going, dude, I'm just here to hang out, y'all. I'm good. It's okay. And it wasn't JJ. I will say it wasn't JJ that was marking out, because JJ
about to say.
JJ has far more tact than that, thankfully. But
I think that's why I've been able to help secure some of these interviews, is because I actually have tact and I don't mark out.
No, and it's one of those. It's not necessarily a bad thing to mark out. You just have to know when to temper it, know when to say when, and for the love of God, folks. And I said this morning. You need to read the room in every situation in life. Noah, you deal with IT on the regular. How you've maintained your sanity between being an IT and being a wrestling fan, that is why you're the MVP of this group. Not because of your masterful voice or because of your adorable, sweet personality. It's the fact that you've maintained your sanity in the two roles you have in life. Because if any one of us had both of those roles, we'd be doing the commentary with our hand snap behind our back. Everything's okay. Everything's fine. Telling it. So you are why we get to do what we do every week, and especially in my prolonged absence as a regular personality, because you are the anchor that keeps this series of channels its ass tied to its seat.
Nice. I'd try.
So, but yes, as far as the official match prediction, not knowing a goddamn thing about the product right now because I've been so busy with everything else. If the King somehow loses a match, it's clearly AJ Francis' fault. So fuck that guy if he loses.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you for that, Jeff. That being said, it's
Are we calling Sacrifice tomorrow on our channels?
yes,
We
we
are.
are. We always do. So it will be me and insert name here as always.
Noah
for
and
TNA.
Walter.
Noah and Walter. Okay, well, we'll make sure we drop that plug at the end of this show. And if Jeff happens to be home, he'll turn on TNA Plus on his TV, but on his audio will be the Simple Reliable Studios.
There
Fair
you
enough.
go. If I may, really quickly before Jeff leaves, I know this has nothing to do with TNA, but I saw this on my Twitter timeline, and I just had to share this because this is a match that's been announced for Vegas. Not going to be at a show that I'm going to be at, but I just...
What are you looking at? What we got? RBD, QT Marshall, and Starboy Charlie versus the Demand.
Okay.
So you have the newly ID'd WWE ID champion.
Yeah.
QT Marshall from AEW. The Demand from AEW.
Yeah.
And everybody's favorite stoner, say it with me one time, Rob Van Dam.
And former TNA World Champion.
Former ECW World Champion, former WWE World Champion.
Yep.
Current friend of Jeff Meacham. Gotta give him all the accolades.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Wow, that's a big six-man tag.
Yeah.
If that wasn't running opposite Bloodsport, we'd probably be at that.
Right.
It's Bloodsport. Walter's not going to miss that.
No, and the fact that it's all but locked that Natty and Shane are going to be in the cage together, you unimaginable bastard, you. But I'll be calling
Next time you're trying to work his magic. Hey, RVD, come on the show.
Dude, come on in.
Oh Lord.
Hey, you know what? He is a father of two little baby twins. He's okay to have a break.
Hey, you know what? That's fair.
I popped into his stream the other night and it just, finally was able to congratulate him because he and I have not chatted a moment since the kids were born. So, and we've both been a little crazy. So happy for him and Katie and the twins. It makes me cry. But anyway, Yeah, I am looking forward to Sacrifice tomorrow. I'm going to attempt to watch the show and then get back into the product, much like I've done with AEW. Tony and team, you can thank Maxwell Jacob Friedman for not only still being the world champion, but the fact that it was his birthday and I watched that show. Which, by the way, I finally watched the main event all the way through. Dear God.
And I got to see it live.
Hangman Page is lucky he's alive, let alone just only on recovery.
Right? Good Lord. Again, subtangent. All right.
Because I wasn't there, I had to take him out afterwards. Anyway, maybe. Thank you always for letting me come in, and I will either in the chat room or tomorrow on the air. I will see you all at Sacrifice.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Jeff. Appreciate you always, man. All right.
Always.
Well, that being said, as we return back to our really scheduled conversation, it's 2 for the King, 1 for the Drifter. And that just leaves Emmanuel. Well, actually, 2 and 2 because, yeah, I also picked Elijah, of course. That being said, hi, Emmanuel. Well, you had a lot of food for thought and then some. Probably got more on your plate than you actually can consume. But that being said, let's go down to your prediction. What do you guys say regarding this tag team match?
First of all, wow, how do I follow that?
I was thinking the same thing.
There's a reason why I say it's simply predicting anything but. Continue.
When I heard
episodes later, what the hell have I started?
Well, I heard JJ say Elijah walked that lonely road. The first thing I thought of is Green Day's I walked this lonely
That's
road.
exactly what I was doing. I was quoting
Thank you,
that song.
Emmanuel. I was gonna say it. I was like, JJ, you damn you! I know what song you're referencing.
And here I'm thinking about, and here I'm thinking about him riding on a horse with no name. Feels good to be out of the
I was
rain.
listening to that song earlier today too. I'm like, damn it.
Anyway,
That's honestly one of my favorite Green Day songs.
Thank you. I agree.
All right, enough music, guys. Let's get back to the wrestling here. Continue.
Yeah,
Emmanuel.
let's save that for next karaoke, Noah.
Oh God, help me.
But yeah, like you guys make the compelling points, but I gotta go with the King, a TNA.
Damn
it.
Good boy, Emmanuel. Good boy.
You corrupt him. All right, fine. So that being said, it's 3-2 in favor of the King and Flop. All right, not to do the King of Rap. Anyway,
there's only one reason. Like, are we have to believe that the hometown man is gonna actually help Elias in the long run in this tag team match?
We got R-Truth and Damian Priest as SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I think any team's possible at this point. Anywhere.
But that's WWE. We're talking about TNA.
TNA is fully becoming a Timu WTNA farm.
We don't have R-Truth and Damian Priest. We have John Cena and The Undertaker.
JJ, stop being in my mind. I was gonna say that.
I'm really, again, I feel like TNA Sleep Predicting is right now becoming the vein of my existence. All right, that means
you asked for it.
3 for the King, 2 for the Drifter. Right. Moving on. Golly.
That's right.
And hopefully
the winner is going to be the man whose autographed action figure I am looking at right now.
Well, you don't have an autograph action figure of either of these women, I imagine, but you're about to see 2 knockouts. And talking about freaking Genesis, this knockout's got more freaking greenness in this knockouts division than I can remember, and no Green Day songs are involved. But there will be a little bit of violence, which may please me. Plus, I remember Alina Black before she went to NXT and became a skater girl with a bad prop. Now it seems like she's legit again, and I'm all for it. And now she's going legit with Mara Sade in a no disqualification match. For those that don't know, this match really picked up back at the Knockouts Battle Royale. Of course, at No Surrender, that determined at the time was supposed to be the number 1 contender for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. I'm going to do my best to keep my composure during that match. No promises, though. And these two have been kind of at each other's throats ever since. Currently tonight, Elena Black was in action one-on-one against someone else we're going to talk about here pretty soon. Jada Stone. And Atlanta Black, she was able to get the better of Jada Stone after Tasha Steelz got involved. A little bit of cause and effect for y'all when it comes to all these knockout interactions. Again, somehow, even in a green as day, not Green Day, green as day TNA Knockouts division, the knockouts still reign prevalent in TNA when it comes to the most showcase of women in wrestling, practically, even on the grander shows. I don't know how they do it. It's always been the TNA way. Thank Christ. Thank you, Jazz and Tommy Dreamer, for definitely spearheading that right now with this division, because Lord knows they need it. Anyway, tonight, Atlanta Black was able to take the win, dropping her with the blackout. I've also seen Atlanta Black, of course, use a knuckle duster previously. And we've seen these two kind of brawl a little bit and get in each other's faces, where now we have this match where if these two can't seem to sell it one-on-one fairly in the ring, fuck it. Let's throw up the rules and have them go batshit crazy. The TNA way. And so we have a no disqualification match. So the bottom line, while Atlanta Black, who might I add, was the first order of business for Sonya Deville to hire as a knockout for TNA Wrestling, why, of course, we have Mars today, who's been endorsed by the Hardys. We'll see how extreme she truly can get. Let's see which one of these two can become one step closer to becoming the knockout in the Knockouts division, where right now it's anyone's ball game if your name's not NXT. You can only hope and pray that you prevail. But let's go ahead and see what y'all think about this. Emmanuel, I don't believe you've been first yet for a match, so I will start you out with this. No disqualification, knockouts action. Mara Sade, Atlanta Black. Who you got winning this match?
To be honest, I think Atlanta Black has to win this one. Like, she needs to have to prove a point why they contract her and why she deserves the knockout opportunity championship for the women's side. So they I like her work. Like, I appreciate her effort. Like, I see the appeal to it right now, but like at the same time, like, I'm kind of torn because, like, are they gonna book a baby face to face Ariana Grace after this, or we gonna see someone else that we could discuss who might be a new champion? But if she, I'm not sure if the knockout championship, the women's championship is booked tonight, but I gotta find out later.
That's booked, and you're gonna hear a whole lot about that from me soon enough. I'll tell you that hot shit. Go ahead and continue.
But I have Atlanta Black winning this, like, but it's very close. I'm like 51-49 at least, so I'm kind of a little bit torn, to be fair.
Well, with these two knockouts, that's justified because, again, as I said, the last time these two went one-on-one, Atlanta Black got the better of Mara Sade, and to the point why Atlanta Black right now has had all the momentum so far, it seems, in TNA since being signed. JJ. So again, as you still have the original graphic and you know all about Atlanta Black in a former life, where again, she was basically very straightforward on Denise Sasaya's podcast when it came to that, what it did, what it meant, what it actually was versus what she is now, and how she took a mental break and now she's back from the place that made her sick in the first place in a whole different realm where she could truly be herself again. Whole different conversation. Mara Sade and Atlanta Black, they just did nothing tonight but argue until freaking security was trying to break them up. So again, these two can't wait to go cat fight Joey style on this shit, if you know what I mean. So what do you guys say about this? Again, you don't know much about Mara Sade, but you do know, of course, she was also involved in your NXT. For those that don't know, you married Takara Jackson. Yeah, the less talk about her, the better. That being said, Atlanta Black, I do think Atlanta Black offers a lot of potential here in the Knockouts division. And I do think with her being here, she's going to own that more like someone else that should be champion. I pray she becomes it, who's become the knockout, in my opinion, subculture represent. I think she needs the win personally, but that's just me. So actually, I'm going with Atlanta Black. What do you think?
So in the matchup between Jakara Jackson and Cora Jade from my NXT, see, here's the thing. Buy the t-shirt.
Buy the t-shirt. Cheap plug.
I love me some Atlanta Black.
Oh,
I love me some Cora Jade.
I'm well aware.
But I feel like the rocket has been strapped to Mara Sade. Possibly because during her Metaphor days, she never truly got the opportunity to show what she can do. And because of that, I think she's going to get the dub here. My little heart is going to be cheering for Elena. But if I'm in Vegas and I have to put money on this, I'm betting on Sade.
Okay. Again, you know your prediction's not official till 7 p.m. Standard Time when you fill out the form. So who knows? If you go back and look at the clips and the last match, it might sway your judgment, but you also might be on point. To that point, Charles, again, like I said, they're only one on encounter. Elena Black stole the victory with a set of knuckles straight to her temple. And that's really the story of this, folks. Battle Royale singles match at each other verbally, and now we have no disqualification. Technically speaking, it's 1-0 in this feud that could continue. This is their second encounter, but you got no rules. So, Charles, what do you think about this? B.
So, my mic was muted. Wow.
You're lucky I was counting you down Jeopardy.
I was already talking. I was talking, and then I just didn't realize shit.
Very
Here
good.
we go. We're
Also,
already off. There it is.
Already off the rails as always here at City Predicting.
Off the rails, all right. When Jeff came in here and ripped you apart for freaking disrespecting the king of TNA, but you know,
that's right.
Look, I'm still going against him because I'm backing Elijah, but you know.
Well, that's a whole different conversation. That being said, your pick on this also botch.
There it is. I'm expecting her to win this. Because I'm also trying to think, was she confronted by a white rabbit or something? Or was that somebody else?
Well, now that you mention it, there was a note that was given to Moss today tonight to follow the White Bunny as Rosemary continues collecting 7 deadly sins that are tied to Allie's unfortunate demise. Now overcoming pride, greed, envy, wrath. And there's only 3 sins left, but the undead realm's the final mark on this escapade to bring the bunny back to life as we approach the day of resurrection in what's being called Project Lazarus. Lazarus, of course, having biblical connections going all the way back, of course, too, as I talk about Jesus coming back to life. But that's a whole different conversation. Yes, I'm talking about this because this is more important than anything else right now in the entire Knockouts division. That being said, back to our already scheduled programming. Go ahead, continue.
That's what they did that for a reason, which means something's happening in this match with her. I don't know what. If just where we see a white rabbit just show up out of thin air during the match, I don't know. It'll be the most craziest thing we've seen.
It's TNA. You realize what you're talking about, right?
And you know what? Fair. TNA isn't afraid to have people get killed off.
Don't remind me.
Hey, it's happened before.
I know.
Even though they had cheated that with Mr. Resurrected Eric Young over here.
Well, but here's the thing. I don't think Eric Young was stuck in the undead realm. The bunny has been and still is. And I hope Rosemary gets her out of there. Sincerely. Continue.
Yeah. But I expect Mara to win. Something's going to happen with that white rabbit thing. Something's going to happen. What? I don't
About to say, this is a supernatural embarkment, folks. Look, y'all don't understand this unless A, you follow Demon X Planet like I do. B, you follow the connection, the story, and the Hive, and Rosemary and Allie as long as I have. And 3, you still hold on to TNA Wrestling, bringing Allie back to life because you understand what this means, particularly to Rosemary, who has not held the championship since 2017 and 18. Anyway, go ahead. I saw your hand up.
Which quite some point, I think it was the fact to just point out, oh yeah, the white rabbit had blood on it too. Like,
yes. She still is in the same outfit that she was killed in by fucking Su Yung.
I'm not talking about Allie, about the white rabbit itself.
Yes, and it's a bloody symbol of what she was. That this manifested corporeal specter is the only reason right now I'm really invested back in TNA Wrestling, being perfectly honest. But I will say this, though. I did not need to see Swingers Palace again. I know Datilla's going to chew me out. I don't care. She's not here, and she's not going to interrupt me like Jeff Meacham did. That was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. You know she could just go back and watch this, right?
She doesn't watch my content. We haven't even done our freaking simple session yet. She's too busy right now trying to live a mighty life without fatigue, all right? God bless her. I do see your again. What you guys say real quick? Interesting way that she severed the ties with Crazy Steve tonight from Pride of Decay. Anyway, continue. What do you
So,
guys say?
so this might be like some Emmanuel level shit. Forgive me.
What is it?
The last time we were force fed a white rabbit, it was the return of Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Is there any possibility that the Wyatt Six could be involved with this angle as well?
You are grasping for straws.
I'm just thinking out loud.
I know.
Ramblin' Rabbit. Follow the bunny, follow the buzzards. We've already seen Allie. I think she's a lock in this. But is there any possibility?
You got
Because,
better
I mean,
chance.
you know, the Wyatt Six are clearly doing great things on SmackDown.
The less we talk about SmackDown, the better. That being said,
They're doing more on AAA TV and on the main event than they're doing on Raw or SmackDown.
Okay,
So it's not exactly like it's a loss.
So the C&D shows, God, before they go to TNA, which is the E show for the Fed at this point, possibly. Well, I guess involves the E, so I guess this is the F. That being said, I'm going to say no. There's a better chance of me breaking out of a suit in a white tee and jeans, singing Sweet Caroline in freaking broad daylight than your premonition of the Wyatt Six infiltrating this storyline to bring Allie back in Resurrection.
And if you'd like to see that, make a $50 donation for the pledge drive to PayPal me/Renegade JJ Williams. Noah will do that.
Hell no, I won't. Fucking hell, I hate musicals in Broadway. And that song, freaking Harley Cameron and Amara on Wrestle Kingdom 8 had to break out and sing that. Damn those two. All right, go ahead. Moving on. Anyway, I think it was pretty much split between Mara Day and Elena Black with the White Bunny interception. And we don't know where that bunny's leading her past Sacrifice. Then again, the show is called Sacrifice. Is Rosemary trying to make a living sacrifice? Well, she did say those sins would be more dangerous as they go. Wait, she's done pride, greed, envy, wrath. What sins are left? Now I'm questioning everything.
Lust and sloth.
Oh, you're right. Lust, sloth, and gluttony. Less sloth and gluttony. Way off a sub-tangent here. Bottom line, the only thing that matters to me, Rosemary bring the bunny back to life. And
$50, Dwayne.
Dwayne, no, shut it.
He will do Sweet Caroline in a white t-shirt.
Just shut it. Everyone shut it. Damn it, shut it.
Yes.
I'll join him. Like, it's a classic. I'll join him.
Oh, bloody
We'll
hell.
all do the bum, bum, bum.
No one's doing that, especially not tonight. All right, that being said, we split between Mara Sade and freaking Elena Black, but these knockouts should not this match out. Emmanuel, I do see your hand. What do you guys say before we move on finally from this madness?
But yeah, I agree with JJ because like once the Wyatts get the Uncle Holly gets his banner back, like what else is there to do with the Wyatts? What's next for them? Like they are in limbo, so why not take them to TNA? Like it would give a purpose for Nikki Cross, who hasn't wrestled in I don't know how long. Like I don't know when the last time she wrestled. She's not even injured. Like it's baffling. Why bring her back if you're not gonna utilize her? What why is she not trying to get the women's SmackDown title with Jade? Or what's her purpose in the Wyatts? I got no clue.
What's the purpose of so many things right now going on between TNA and WWE, where both are so mid to me that I needed AEW, Stardom, and New Japan to bring me back to life again, more than Evanescence Afterlife song for Devil May Cry 2. I'll let you be the judge of all that. Without further ado, let's move on, please and thank you.
Dwayne, the deadline is the end of this stream.
God, stop it.
You have until the end of the stream.
Oh God, I need.
I don't know how much longer we're going to go. We've only done 3 of 7 matches.
And
So
I
you
fear...
have until the end of the stream, and because it would require a wardrobe change for Noah, he'll do it at the end of the stream.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
I
Oi!
agree with JJ.
Of course you do, you freaking parrot. All right, let's go ahead and move on from there, shall we? The system is flawed, the system is broken, and the system needs to be freaking shut down for good. Maybe like this stream. And maybe Moose, the face of the franchise, is going to do that when he finally takes on the face of the system, Eddie Edwards, or should I say the motherboard of the whole damn fucking thing. Screw the freaking CMOS battery, freaking heat sink, freaking solid state drive, and freaking SDDRAM DDR5. It's Moose versus Eddie Edwards with the system likely in his corner, as Moose has, pun intended, systematically been trying to destroy the system and has successfully. It all started with a ridiculous street fight-esque match against Cedric Alexander. He recently overcame Brian Myers in record time. And of course, this past TNA, he was able to overcome Bear Bronson, which only leaves one obstacle left. The very man that kicked him out of the system in the first place and rebooted it with those men, Eddie Edwards. And Alicia Edwards has been encouraged by Moose to continue moving forward in TNA to the point she has resigned. But as you can see, she is no longer with Ride or Die. She is with Moose. Moose right now is becoming proverbially the babyface of TNA, not a Mike Santana. But again, Eddie Edwards, we also got to keep in mind, folks, Eddie Edwards still has a guaranteed shot at the TNA World Championship, and he can call his shot at any time thanks to the Feast or Fired briefcase. We all saw how well that worked out when it came to Tatum Paxley taking advantage, of course, after Easy Dame was able to take Thea Hales and X Women's North American Championship on an open challenge opportunity. Eddie Edwards, though, has a guaranteed shot, and we know the TNA World Champion is in the building and is defending. So bottom line, do you still trust the system, or will Moose finally dismantle it once and for all with the help of Alicia Edwards in the corner? Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think about this. Charles, I will start with you. Do you trust this new system, System 2.0, might as well be Norton versus AVG, or do you believe Moose finally dismantles it, shuts it down, and breaks it all together?
I love the fact that I know that reference you were making at the end there. One. Number two, that comment right there pretty much just says it all. Eddie was just winning this with the help of his wife.
Oh, you sense a betrayal angle, the fix-in the whole time, a virus.
Yeah, that's basically the whole time I've been seeing ever since let's say working with freaking Moose. It's like, yep, just wait for the inevitable betrayal.
I mean, she's been stopping the system, constantly attacking Moose ever since Moose was kicked out after JDC officially retired and Eddie Edwards turned his back on his friend. You really think Alicia Edwards is going to become two-faced gold digger turncoat once again? You're freaking trash from Boise.
Yeah, basically loyalty. Just all flat out secret. Just swerve. Just wait for it.
Just swerve. All right, fair enough. So that being said, you actually have Eddie Edwards overcoming Moose.
Yes, pretty much because of that betrayal.
All right, then. Emmanuel, do you agree or disagree? Again, Moose right now, he's kind of been stagnant because he literally has only had a vendetta towards the system. That has been his primary focus. So I feel like, much like Darby Allin, who was against the Death Riders to a degree, far longer. Pray to God this doesn't go as long. I don't think Moose can move on to bigger and better things on his own until he puts the system behind him. And I do think beating Eddie Edwards is the final death note to that mission statement. So do you think Moose gets it done, or is it game continue? Game continue or game over?
I think the system will win. Eddie Edwards is going to win because of Alicia Edwards. You know what? You're a religious man.
Of course I am.
What is the last two sentences in the wedding vows?
Till death do us part.
And what's before that? For better or worse?
For better or for worse. Even a simple man understands what a marriage means, but this is wrestling. When does a marriage actually truly matter? I'm just saying. Hello, Andrade.
But that's that. I think that's what Alicia's good vision. Like, for better or worse, like I gotta have to stand by my man. He's not. She's not married to Cedric Alexander. She's not married to the rest of the system. She's only married to one man. And even though like, she might not like his tactics, she's gonna stand by her man. Not Blue Bears related, but stand by your man.
Not copyright. I remember that song from my freaking jukebox country clock. I don't need to hear it anymore.
But she's gonna help them win, and we're gonna have to. And plus, TNA needs to have Eddie to be a legit contender. Like, he might be the next world TNA champion, the men's. So.
All right, we'll see. I'm just gonna say this real quick, JJ. Tonight, it took the entire Atlanta Falcons running defense. For those that don't know, by the way, Moose traded away a complete career in NFL to become a full-time wrestler, and just ended up constantly being part of TNA Impact Wrestling, brought in as the Miracles Heavy, former, of course, Mike Bennett with Maria Kanellis. That being said, he took on a beating and a brawling war tonight with Big Bear Bronson, a man you're very familiar with, of course, with GCW coverage. It took an entire defensive line from the Atlanta Falcons to help Moose when it was critical, when the system got involved, basically, to allow him to hit him with a clothesline for the win. And again, he beat Brian Myers in less than 5 seconds. Is that really a match? Yeah, you tell me. Nonetheless, Moose, spear, Moose, spear, Moose, spear. It's been the story of the system's downfall one by one by one by one. Only one peg left, shorter than a friggin' arcade tower in Mortal Kombat. So, JD, what do you think? Do you got Moose winning, or do you got Eddie Edwards somehow overcoming Moose with or without the cheat code Alicia Edwards that used to be the system's, let's call it what it is, ace up their sleeve?
I do think we're getting the Alicia Edwards turn.
Damn it.
I don't know if it happens and it helps Eddie win, or it comes after a Moose victory. Because that's the key factor there.
Yes.
Because while a lot of people here are speculating and assume that Alicia would turn to help her husband win,
yes,
we also could have the situation where Moose gets the W, the rest of the system jumps him afterwards. Alicia gets involved and acts, keyword acts, like she's trying to get them off of him.
What a poetic work, assume what network TNA is now on. Continue.
And then proceeds to put her own boots to him.
All right.
Wins the battle, but not the war. Because at the end of it all, the system is still standing tall over a downed Moose. Alicia is back with her husband, but Moose gets the dub. I'm picking Moose for the win here.
Yes. I mean, seriously, we've been talking about it. That Moose has proverbially become the biggest freaking babyface right now in TNA wrestling. And again, he literally, when TNA was brought back to life, he was the face of TNA. He held that title down pat since being Alex Shelley at Hard to Kill. And honestly, when you look at Moose's career, he is hard to kill. The man freaking fought through a triple threat for the champ, for just on an exhibition on a TNA Plus special with a compromised fucking back. I'm just saying. All right. So yeah, I'm definitely going with Moose here. I'm all in on Moose right now, shutting the system down once for all. In my opinion, the system needed him. He did not need the system. And I damn sure don't trust this system. I trust this system far worse than the previous freaking version. And usually you think a newer version is better. Hello, Windows 8 versus Windows 7, which immediately became Windows 10. Just saying. Or should I say Vista versus Windows 7? Because Vista was an absolute piece of shit. If y'all had to deal with that, I'm sorry. All
And
right.
what isn't a piece of shit is that for $50 to that fundraising,
Stop that!
Noah will wear a white T-shirt and
Stop it!
sing "Sweet Caroline."
No one wants to hear
Don't
that.
Yes.
forget, you have
Oh,
until the end of this stream to make that happen.
all right, enough,
Indeed.
JJ. Enough, Funaki. Shut the fuck up. All right, that's enough from all of you. All right, moving on from there.
That'll be
Buddy.
kind of cool.
Surrounded by fools. And apparently, Safed also does not trust Alicia Edwards. And Dwayne's also thinking that Moose could win. Eddie cashes in. And Alicia turns on Moose when the towel's on the line because Moose may stop Eddie Edwards from being champion. Again, sub-tangent, cause and effect. It's a thought. It's a freaking thought. All right. That being said, I think everybody went after JJ once again raised my blood pressure. Charles, you also, of course, picked. So, yeah, I think I'm on win here because, yeah, I started with Charles. All right. Moving on. Good Lord. Where the hell do I go from here? Beep, 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 beep. We got 3 matches left. We got a mixed tag. We got another tag. And we got the tag championships and the championships.
Well, who do you pick?
What?
Do you pick Noah?
Moose, of course. Why would I not
Okay.
pick Moose at this point? He's the guy right now. Don't call it a comeback, but he's the guy that's literally trying to remove a virus from a situation, and that is TNA wrestling. If he was one that built up the system, he damn sure can break it, even if Eddie Edwards started it. A cheaper system than Bill Gates ever built. All right, anyway, Moose for the win for me. All right. I'm going to move on now back to the TNA Knockouts division for the other marquee Knockouts match. Before I talk about the other Knockouts match that kind of has a little more of my attention, because I'm just going to be as civil as possible in my unique thoughts, and then I will let you all go, and then I will share my final simple prediction last. Okay? Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about the TNA Knockouts World Championship that has been defiled by a fucking... The TNA Knockouts World Championship, currently held by NXT's Ariana Grace with Stacks. Fuck this freaking Sopranos ripoff act. Defending the gold against the former champion, Layling Lee with Zaya Brookside, Angel Warriors for Life. Defending the gold against the person that should be in a one-on-one against the other challenger in the first fucking place when the TNA Knockouts had an internal storyline and talent development going for themselves without WWE force-feeding themselves on your fucking throats. Danny Luna. Danny Luna, of course, who earned this opportunity and has been overdue for this opportunity, might I add, as Daria Ray and Santina Morella, the instigator towards this happening, you fucking idiot, has, of course, allowed Danny Luna and Layling Lee to rapidly challenge for this. Over the last few weeks, we have looked at Santina Morella and Daria Ray try to exercise their authority in directing how this match will go and who will be involved in it. In the end, we saw Jody Fret, who earned her chance in that Battle Royal, was squandered thanks to Tessa Blanchard and company. She's no longer even involved in the equation. And here I thought Jody Fret was going to win it back. There would be a rightfully correction to this wrong, and then you would get the right story. How's that for a hot fucking take story when it comes to the two that used to be together, but Spitfire, of course, split up. And, of course, Layling Lee was dropped by Danny Luna. But again, who cares about consistency in professional wrestling, right? That being said, Danny Luna is hell bent to finally have her shot at Sacrifice and solidify herself as the knockout and get what's rightfully hers. We even previously seen the champion and Danny Luna in a tag bout, of course, after freaking got the win over the Angel Warriors. And of course, you all know my outlook when it comes to triple threat matches. Buffer, fall person. Someone has to continue forward. Someone has to be completely removed from the freaking equation. Things really escalated after Danny Luna and her partner defeated the Angel Warriors, of course, and we wasn't sure whether or not we were going to get a one-on-one or this triple threat, as it became known. So bottom line, guys, it's a triple threat to bring back home the cornerstone of women's wrestling, not just TNA, but women's wrestling since fucking 2008. that started with Gail Kim, and this division has not been the same since Gail Kim's been removed from her position. I'm just saying. Let's go around the horn and see if y'all think there's a brand new TNA Knockouts World Champion. And more importantly, do we remove the layers NXT from TNA when it comes to the Knockouts Gold? When freaking NXT has 3 championships and 1's a pedometer sticker, that doesn't matter. But congrats to Win Sinclair on winning her first accolade. Just saying. Emmanuel, go first on this. Your thoughts on the TNA Knockouts World Championship. Who you got leaving with the gold?
You know what? Seeing this card, like, it makes me want to change my pick to solid, over Jay, because now that I see that, maybe a certain Danny Luna actually finally gets her title. Like, it's not the I know that it doesn't make the most sense, but it does, because Ariana has Stacks and Zaya Lee has her partner. Who does, who does she have? But and I think they're gonna cancel themselves out, and she's gonna find an opportunity, an opening, and take advantage of that opportunity. So for me, I have Danny Luna, and there's more storylines that you could put. So Davis is Danny Luna. That's a pay-per-view worthy of a match right there, in my humble opinion.
Fair enough. Okay, so that being said, he's got Danny Luna, who arguably, in many people's eyes, who's TNA faithful and focus on TNA, not NXT TNA, or has become NXT TNA, if we're being perfectly honest, has been overdue for this shot since she became Crimson Mask Award winner #1 after beating Indy Hartwell in a bloody, ridiculous dog collar match. Lest you all forget, not to mention beating Jodie Fred, lest you all forget, not to mention choking out Lei Ling Lee, lest you all forget, and then visa issues, LOL, prevented her from challenging for this championship to the point we've already seen this title defended against the likes of Zarya, her only legitimate match since being part of the W ecosystem, and now we have this gold digger who took advantage of her father for director of a 40 position in the hopes of making sure a man doesn't go a virgin on Valentine's Day. Freaking have this situation now called the birthright, where we got the cornerstone once again stuck under NXT hostage. That belongs to TNA. But that being said, it's got Danny Luna. All right, Charles, who you got in this match? Again, Danny Luna, been talking about for a long fucking time. She's been overdue, and looking at this Knockouts division that's greener than grass as we approach the spring season, Danny Luna is overdue for a chance to run as the fucking knockout, fucking in all caps. What do you got to say regarding this match? You got a new champion.
No, we don't. That title is staying on Grace either till Slammiversary or Bound for Glory, where I expect Indy to take the title. That's all I'm going to say on that.
You're literally holding out for Indy Hartwell to have an impressive moment, which she's had how many moments now and came up short?
Yes.
Well, like he was with Elijah, he freaking keeps on saying that Indy is impression and will leave the impression needed to become the Knockouts World Champion. I admire the outlook, but I pray that you're wrong. All right, look, I don't need to say anything else. I'm just going to say one thing, and then I'm going to give it to JJ, who will try and make this long-term storytelling fun with the NXT involvement. Danny Luna fucking bring the title home, damn it! Hi, JJ. What do you got to say regarding this match? We got Danny Luna, and what's-her-face holding on to the gold. No one right now is picking the former champion. What do you got to say regarding this match that should have been fucking Danny Luna and Lei Ling Lee in the first fucking place 2 times over, and now currently has a triple threat with NXT shit involved in it. And so help me if those fucking Outcast rejects, more TV killer ratings than Retribution, get involved here. God! What do you guys say regarding the TNA Knockouts World Championship? Go ahead.
Well, since you brought it up, I was going to go back to what Emmanuel said in who's to say that the birthright won't get involved to help her win?
Should have been abolished at birth.
And, I mean, clearly David Finlay made the wrong choice going to Jacksonville, and having to lose on his peak pay-per-view debut when he could have been part of this huge angle. But I digress.
Angle on development brand. Continue.
Look, Jody Threat is preoccupied because she will be facing Mercedes Moné in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada for that championship to take another belt off of Mercedes. What did she get up to? 12 belts, Monet? 13 belts, Monet?
She got up to 12. She is now currently down to 5, I believe. And also, Jody Fred will be involved in the countdown against the woman that cost her during her match for the TNA World Championship, Tessa Blanchard.
Damn how the mighty has fallen. The Tessa Blanchard's on the countdown, but that's a whole other story.
That's a whole other sub-tangent. Continue. The word of the day is sub-tangent. Continue.
But look, I like Lei Yingli. I think she's a hell of a talent. And dare I say, and I know you don't get into women of wrestling for this, dare I say she is a damn good-looking woman. Very underrated in her beauty because a lot of people don't gush over her like they do the Liv Morgans of the world.
To be fair, that's a younger audience too.
Ariana Grace was never going to be a long-term champion. Her role was simply to be transitional. But the million-dollar question is, does she lose it here? Or does she lose it at Slammiversary? Which is a bigger stage. Because let's run with this for a second. She loses it here. Doesn't matter who takes it, Danny Luna or Lei Yinli. And then Indy picks it up at Slammiversary. Why are we hot potatoing the belt every couple of months? Or Ariana holds it till Slammiversary, which is traditionally in July. Yes, that's a 3-month run that she shouldn't have had in the first place. I will give you that. But the other outcome is hot potatoing. And none of us are really a fan of hot potatoing. So with that in your mind, Noah, do you really think that Ariana Grace is going to lose it here?
She better if I'm going to care about this championship again that's already degraded in value. How many times now? You're talking about hot potatoing. Your fucking NXT has hot potatoed this title 5 damn times last calendar year alone. And if there's any consistent stat to this bullshit, the title has changed hands in fucking triple threats. Hell, Layla Lee won it in a triple threat, for Pete's fucking sake. So if we're going to do triple threats just to get the title back for whatever fucking reason to get the NXT logo off the TNA World Championship, then so fucking be it. While you're trying to course correct or friggin' just course redirect some shit you shouldn't have friggin' redirected in the first fucking place.
And how do you know that when Indy doesn't win it, she's not been a plant this entire time? Because did she not come to TNA from a release from NXT?
I pray to God that we don't have fucking 2001 invasion angles where you're playing brand supremacy, loyalty, follow-up bullshit in friggin' 2026 where Indy comes back home to NXT as the friggin' TNA Knockouts World Champion just cause that would be impressive. Fuck no.
I'm just saying, who's to say that she couldn't have been a double agent all along?
I'll believe that when friggin' NXT or WWE in general acquisitions TNA, which I still believe is going to happen sooner rather than later.
regardless, I am going to go out and I am going to say that Danny Luna wins.
There's any justice for this fucking knockout division greener than grass and goose shit. Bring the title home and put it on the knockout you prolifically have built.
But she pins Lei Yin Lee.
And that I will also take, because Lord knows we can't have NXT lose. They're WWE. Anyway, let's go ahead. Not my NXT!
I
Let's go
was
ahead.
waiting for that. Emmanuel does have his hand up.
What do you guys say?
But to say like for indie, it doesn't necessarily we have to have a title exchange right away. Like she's been high, low. I'm not sure what the booking decisions with her. Like it should have been a future TNA Knockouts champion. That she would have been booked a little bit more better. That's the only problem I have with that argument. Right now, I don't see Indy as a knockout champion for right now.
Well, they gotta build her up, and she also gotta avoid getting freaking a sneak attack, because if y'all haven't been watching TNA like I have, Indy Hartwell was almost sneak attacked by fucking Ariana and Stax before Santino Marella got involved. Her last match actually was a singles match against just a random name, Kelsey Heather, as she looked to now go on the road to become the TNA Knockouts World Champion and wants her shot. But unfortunately, right now, this birthright bullshit ain't gonna let that happen, I think. So we need to get this title back here, where you got Danny Luna, where you might be able to try and build up Tessa Blanchard. If Mara Sardin is all she's cracked up to be, let's see what she could do. Elena Black and Indy Hart was a whole nother tangent that could happen here. You could literally try and rebuild, what a crazy fucking concept, the TNA Knockouts division from the division itself without NXT involvement, just because you got one damn name under a fucking name that might as well sound like some false given inheritance.
One more thing, Noah, before you give to Charles, because he went on cam. You know what would be the swerviest swerve, Vince Russo type of swerve in the manner of stream swerve? If Santino Marella helps his daughter regain the title, that's the only thing be so out of that their field that I'd be wondering what the heck did I just see.
I'm questioning.
But hopefully, I did not curse that to happen in real life.
I'm questioning Santino Marella's role in Director of Authority and Daria's influence either over him or this company. I'm almost wondering, is this Immortal 2.0, and are these two going to tend this company belly up? Because it is definitely an agenda, and there's also a personal outline to consider, and both of which right now do not feel like a good plan for TNA Wrestling and the TNA Knockouts World Championship, in my opinion. What do you want to say, Charles, as JJ's kind of thinking?
Okay. First, because Mercedes brought up a Jody Fett, right?
Yes.
Someone already said it. Mercedes is down to 3 belts now.
Oh, she lost another one?
And she lost 2 the past weekend.
Damn!
She's literally down to 3.
Wow. Hey, she's a little fast.
So basically, JJ should be down to 2. So there you go. What's going to happen now with that Jody Fett match?
All right. Fair enough. Well, I mean, again, tick-tock. Let's see what happens as we head towards Double or Nothing in New York City for the first time as we first forge a dynasty. JJ, I do see you having a theory. Before I move on from this, where I'm just going to say one more time, Danny Luna, bring the fucking title home. I'm really sick and tired of this NXT hot potatoing shit. What do you want to say before we move on finally? We got 3 matches left.
Well, blame Emmanuel for this because he had to go and mention Santino Marella.
What is it?
And I think it would be funnier if it was Santina Marella.
Just zoom in on Noah's face when that was said.
And just remember, for $50, Noah will sing Sweet Caroline in a white shirt.
I gotta go pound my head against the wall. I'll be right back.
Now, the word from our sponsor.
Shut the fuck up, Charles!
Subscribe. That's all I
Noah,
have to
you want
say.
to read that comment out?
Why would I read a comment about? All right, fine. What we got here? Get my glasses. What about yo? Fucking shut up!
He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Look how Nick's saying that. I kept saying it more once. I love
The
it.
fucking gimmicks, all the gimmicks coming out tonight on TNA. These truly are the craziest silly predictings. It's come to freaking fruition. All right. Well, moving on. Speaking of crazy shit.
And again, we've only got 3 more matches. You have till the end of the stream if you want to see it.
Oh my
Exactly,
gosh.
people.
There is nothing righteous about this conversation, this company, this show, or simply predicting. Dig what I'm saying, man? Because now we got to deal with this. Okay, Jeff Hardy and Vincent taking on Brian Myers and Cedric Alexander as we now switch gears because, believe it or not, there is still more matches here, folks. I don't know whether or not the jury is out that the righteous want to coexist with the Hardys, or is it a long coup before we become broken, obsolete, deleted, and every other adjective you could think of when it comes to what the hell is going to happen with these two teams and the TNA Tag Team Championships. Bottom line, though, tonight on TNA Wrestling, if you're on the West Coast, last night on TNA Wrestling, if you're on the East Coast, because that's how late this craziness has gone, we saw Matt Hardy laid out on some stairs. We've also seen the System previously beat the Hardys in tag team action. Now we have Vincent of the Righteous, since Matt Hardy is not medically clear to compete, teaming up with Jeff Hardy to take on Brian Myers and Cedric Alexander of the System. So will revenge be found, or will the System find a flaw in this unique duo setup? Things really escalated from here, by the way, following a singles match after Jeff Hardy beat Brian Myers. We've kind of seen the System and the Righteous and the Hardys go back and forth, up and down and all around. And I'm not saying that as an upside down reference from Stranger Things, but you're talking about Stranger Things. Nothing stranger right now than TNA and AMC in the wrestling business, in my opinion, and I'll stand by that. Not just for the women either. Either way, you got this clusterfuck of a tag match, and I'm just going to call it that. So bottom line, are we looking at future challengers, not named Sinner and Saint, not named the Great Hands, not named insert other team here? I think there's like one other team in TNA. I can't freaking remember anymore. Are we looking at the System finally going to challenge for the TNA Tag Team Championships, possibly at Rebellion? Or does somehow this makeshift duo of extreme ridiculousness find a way to win? Let's go around the horn and see what you all think about this. That being said, let's start with JJ this time. JJ, what do you guys say regarding this?
I'm wondering if we're going to get some kind of hybrid mashup theme.
Man.
Remember when the Hardys and Joe Hendry teamed up?
Yes, I do, actually.
So imagine the Hardy drums. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
That just sounds so off.
Like, I'm envisioning it in my head,
the music,
and I want to see it executed.
You're going from fully loaded freaking slow snapping psychedelic trip. What?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm digging what you're saying, man. That's a weird mashup. That's two different extremes, pun intended. But continue.
But it's Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that.
I'm just saying, like, if anybody could pull it off, it's the musician.
Fair. But that being said, do you think that leaves them to victory?
I find it interesting that we've got Vincent and Jeff teaming against, even though they're stablemates, an unlikely duo in Myers and Alexander.
Yes.
This all just feels
weird.
McMahonish.
It's not too far off, honestly.
But at the same time, I'm intrigued. Because each person is just different enough to bring some different vibes, if you will, to this match. So I'm here for it, and I think we need Myers and Alexander to win because they can actually challenge for the tag titles. Whereas if Vincent and Jeff win, Jeff is a holder of a title.
Yes.
I don't really know where we go from there. Does that give the Righteous another title opportunity? I think it's awkward. So I'm going with the system here to win.
Well, despite the fact it's two mixed people of the system, and I will say this, hell, freaking number one contenders match for the TNA World Tag Team Championships, the system was represented by Brian Myers and Bear Bronson. And technically speaking, Bear Bronson and Brian Myers, they were the ones to earn the number one contendership for the TNA World Tag Team Championships back on March 5th. Now, of course, they aren't the champions right now because, again, Moose Vendetta and not going to let that happen. The Righteous supporting the Hardys, etc. It's all very askew. So, okay. Well, thank you for that, JJ. Emmanuel, what do you guys say regarding this madness? And I mean that prolifically.
I believe Jeff Hardy and Vincent might win this tag team match, to be honest.
I mean, Vincent did. I will also just give some closure. Vincent did idolize Jeff Hardy, but then again, who hasn't? So there's a reason why these two are working together. If you all watched No Surrender, back when I had my meltdown after the TNA Knockouts despair for the championship, which of course JJ and Walter called, you saw how much Vincent imitated Jeff Hardy, including a Swanton Bomb. Continue.
But no, I got a question. You're a tech guy, right?
Yes.
What happens when a friend sends you a file and it corrupts your computer? What happens to it? It spreads, right?
Yes, of course.
I think this is what the righteous are doing with the Hardys. Like they get the information, picking all the data they have for them, and even the Hardys are questioning their motives. Like what are you trying to do? And that's what the computer is basically doing. Like questioning that. What is this? There's not a computer. And what happens when it's too late? It shuts down. It breaks down. So I think that's the storyline they're heading to. So the computer has not catch the buyers to it yet, per se. So that's why Jeff Hardy and Vincent will get the victory.
Well,
and the computer has not and we're light on the thought. Hey, it's helping me. No, it's not.
Like I said, folks, don't use Norton. You'll thank me later if you have a computer. Again, the system still has. Let me correct myself because I'm all discombobulated between the last match and this confustafucker. The system still has that chance for the titles. Remember, it's Bear Bronson and Brian Myers that will challenge after earning the opportunity. After Bear Bronson, though, had that war with Moose and Matt Hardy taken out, that title match has been prolonged. When's the prime of the holdout to Rebellion? So keep in mind, we could be, despite the fact it's not just the full-on Hardys, you could be lending momentum towards either the champions or the challenging faction. Let's just call it what it is. So just keep that in mind. But nonetheless, okay. Charles, that leaves you. What do you guys say regarding this? Do you got Jeff Hardy and Vincent coexisting and winning? Dig what I'm saying, man? Or do you have the system once again finding a way to weaken the tag team champions? This time, Jeff Hardy being prime target.
Nah, I see Hardy and Vincent winning this. I'm just waiting for the inevitable. This ends in the Hardy compound, and
oh my gosh, we hear it all the time. This match brought to you by Fago, the only thing that is genuine. It feels like. And I
yeah, don't disrespect. They don't disrespect Vega around me and JJ. Don't even think about that.
Fago, I said it's genuine. I picked the only damn thing that's genuine. You better get my words right. Anyway, continue.
It beat Chester just saying that.
Fuck me. Continue, Charles.
But yeah, I expect Jeff and Vincent to win this. I expected to go into the Hardy compound at some point. It's only a matter if it's either going to be at Slammiversary or they're going to prolong this all the way to Battle for Glory.
No, they won't wait that long.
You guys realize
Yeah,
you guys realize the next pay-per-view coming up is Rebellion. Then after that will likely be either Under Siege or Against All Odds, and they'll have something else, maybe Unbreakable. We got stuff between fucking April and July. I'm just saying, there's gonna be stuff.
I know.
Yeah. Just
all right.
I expect it to be at Slammiversary then, more likely, with the Hardy compound stuff.
Fair.
I'll probably get a deletion, final, ultimate crazy deletion, something.
They're on
deletion.
AMC. They're on AMC. It's inevitable. You're going to get a cinematic Hardy match at the Hardy compound. It's inevitable. But that being said, I'm also going with Vincent and Jeff Hardy because I do think that the Hardys have held onto these titles a little too long and they need to change. And based on all the teams in the scene, guys, I just want to put this out there. All the tag teams right now in TNA at this point outside the Righteous are basically heels. Unless you count what might be a makeshift team that I'll talk more about in our next match. But even then, do they deserve a shot at the titles or a chance at the championships? At this point, if anyone's going to take the titles off the Hardys, it's got to be a heel team. I just don't know whether or not it's going to be the system. And I know that he's got at least one, if not two things on his mind. But again, it really depends on what he trusts in. Nonetheless, I'm going to go with Jeff Hardy and Vincent out of what is simply put a clusterfuck exhibition tag affair. Just saying. Let's move on to our semi-main that's going to hold some interesting, I feel, momentum and championship implications. Let's talk about the TNA National Championship, the guy that believes we need great leadership, someone else that might be on the rise, and the Buickwa Badass herself here of TNA, who beat the greatest of the greatest, if you know what I mean. Because here is and again, TNA is the only one I know that does this more than AEW, but at least it's not six-person madness. But it is Mixed Mayhem. Let's talk about this mixed tag team match. Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steelz of the Order 4, and yes, the Great Khans and likely Agent Zero will be in the corner. So then Ali, do you still trust? JJ, I already know what you're doing off screen right now outside the graphics, so I feel like I don't need to say that out loud too much, but you're still going to give a fuck on this regardless. Taking it on, Smoke if you got him, Trey Miguel, representing the 419, Toledo, Ohio, my guy, my boy, of course, always going to respect Trey. And of course, he is the current TNA International Champion and his tag partner, Jada Stone. Now, it's really a tale of two matches here, with Mustafa Ali adding himself to the equation after being resurrected out of the guitar-shaped coffin. Bottom line, Tasha Steelz, Jada Stone, their bad blood goes all the way back to that Battle Royal. Back at, of course, No Surrender, where they literally beat the living piss out of each other afterwards. Since Mustafa Ali, of course, lost to Elijah, which I gotta admit, I kind of was a little bit surprised by, but in a way, I'm kind of not, because it kind of leads to some other unique dynamics here. Basically, every chance that Tasha Steelz has gotten to attack Jada Stone, she has taken. We've also seen a new trio development, it feels like, with BDE, Rich Swann, and Trey Miguel. And each man have been kind of backing up each other to the point BDE and Rich Swann have kind of become their own tag team. Kind of a refreshing side of it, being perfectly honest here. As I said, Elena Black previously faced Jada Stone, but Elena Black was, of course, able to win after a distraction tactic, of course, by Tasha Steelz, who tried to set up a combo move on Elena Black, but Steelz stopped her. After Elena Black was able to hit a Stone with the blackout, Mara Saturday, Elena Black, there, of course, as I said, arguing from ringside. You see how they try to intertwine the matches here, and the Order 4 try to be on the attack. But Jada Stone, she was not backing down here. Order 4 surrounded Jada Stone before TNA National Champion Trey Miguel came to her aid with a steel chair. And of course, Mustafa Ali, he has set his sights on Trey Miguel and the TNA International Championship after also attacking BDE. In fact, Mustafa Ali previously beat BDE with a new move he's brought back called Dance with the Devil. And we have also seen the Order 4 attack Rich Swann. And again, Rich Swann, Trey Miguel had tremendous respect for each other. So now we have this unique four-way, I would say, mixed tag team match, but you might as well call it a handicap because you know the Great Hands are not going to be too far behind. Bottom line, though, are the Great Hands going to be Great Hands in this? Will they play advantage? Or will we find Trey Miguel and Jada Stone find a way to take advantage of this Order 4? And do you trust them in winning in, let's call it what it is, their first time ever teaming together as a freaking duo? We've even seen Special Agent Zero unleashed on Jada Stone. It wasn't for Trey Miguel, you might not even see Jada Stone involved in this match. So, all-time high stakes here, and Mustafa Ali wins. Hey, it might lead to a TNA National Championship match. Who the heck knows? Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think about this. We will go ahead and start things off with Charles. Charles, what do you think about this? Trey Miguel, of course, who won the title off Stacks, thank Christ, and so far has been a very commendable champion. Jada Stone, again, we talked about this division being greener than Goose Bleep. She is still very fresh on the scene, but with Trey Miguel at her side, there might be something to come from this. Who knows? And Tasha Steelz and Jada Stone, I think they're just for an inevitable one-on-one encounter, and I'm here for it because it means Tasha Steelz is actually wrestling again versus being a secretary. I forgot that she actually could wrestle. So what do you think about this match, Charles? Which side you got winning? In Ali, do you still trust, along with Tasha Steelz, who's kept, honestly, this entire family, the Order 4, alive since kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Campaigning confidence in them? Or do you think that Trey Miguel and Jada Stone puts Ali and Tasha Steelz in their place?
Jada and freaking Trey. Speak simple to the point.
All right. No more cause and effect there. Just get the freaking win. Ali fumbles again. Okay. Simple enough. All right. Let's go to Emmanuel next here. Emmanuel, what do you think about this? Mustafa Ali and Ali, do you still trust? Ali right now, who's nowhere near a championship, let alone the world championship at this point, and kind of has been on a downturn since losing Hardcore last year at Bound for Glory and losing, of course, that guitar coffin. I still find that weird to say, by the way. Guitar coffin match against Elijah. So what do you want to say about this match?
To be honest, I think Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steelz will win this. That way, Mustafa Ali gets an opportunity, like for the international championship for Trey Miguel. I'm not familiar that much with Jada Stone. I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen her wrestle, so I might be missing out what she can do and provide. But it's something I might, I guess, have to see and wait and see what she's capable in ring, and hopefully she kills it and does well, and hopefully she does well to become a great star on a big stage. So.
Again, she's one of the newer names next to Mila Moore. She's known as the Spark. She's been involved in, speaking of which, Spark Jochi Wrestling, Reality of Wrestling. Primarily, she's been wrestling on Explosion. And then the only TV match that Jada Stone and Tasha Steelz had, I realize I botched. You know what? Bite me in the ass. Everyone does it. Botch. That being said, their last TV match, it only went for 5 minutes. And Jada Stone got the win. So, again, I think Tasha Steelz right now is even more PO. But she's still very young in the business. 4 years. Again, a lot of TNA right now, it is young when it comes to TNA exposure and wrestling acumen in this business. Continue.
But yeah, like I said, for me that makes the most sense of this match. Like, and of course the or is always there to help Mustafa Ali to get that victory from and steal it for him. So that's why I'm going for Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steelz.
Fair enough. I mean, JJ, honestly, Mustafa Ali and Tasha Steelz, ever since Tasha Steelz joined Mustafa Ali's campaign, it became the Order 4, and she's been the press secretary campaigning propaganda across TNA, but confidence in Mustafa Ali, she's been the reason that Mustafa Ali still might have some footing forward in his campaign in TNA wrestling. And to also that, it's not the first time we've seen these two, let alone the Order 4, work together in mixed warfare, mixed tag team, mixed trios, you freaking name it. Hell, previously on TNA, actually, wasn't it shortly after the premiere that the Order 4 also were in mixed tag team action, and it was Ali and Steelz that beat Jada Stone and Elijah? Someone can look that up for me, because I'm pretty sure Elijah, who was feuding with Ali, and Tasha Steelz, of course, who's been a thorn in Elijah's side for who knows how long. She's been a thorn in everyone's side, to be fair. I'm pretty sure Elijah and Jada Stone also had a mixed tag match against this duo, and they lost. So there's that level of experience there. I'm gonna have to look at my cage match history for matches and see if that happened on TNA or was it Explosion, because I know that Jada Stone has dealt with these people before, but she's never worked together with Trey Miguel before. And Trey, he's been a TNA OG for I don't know how long, and again, resigned to TNA and is now singles. What do you think about this, JJ? Because Lord knows, every time Mustafa Ali is on the marquee, and Ali you indeed do trust, has this changed your judgment at all? And you're muted. You're muted. Botch.
Not botch. I was looking something up and I forgot to come over.
Okay, well, I'll give you that.
You asked somebody to fact check, and I was fact checking.
Oh, all right. Well, look at you.
So, yes, you are correct. Ali and
thought
Steelz defeated Elijah and Jada Stone.
I thought so. I could have sworn that was up before the freaking, what's it called? Guitar Coffin. That is such a fucking weird name for a match, let alone a coffin. Anyway,
yeah, it was on the January 23rd episode of Impact.
Okay, so it was shortly after the premiere. Again, folks, I may not agree with this TNA, but I still keep up with it. Continue.
So, again, I haven't been watching as religiously as I should. That's a bad JJ.
I don't hold it against you.
Has Ali had a shot at Trey's title recently?
Trying to think.
Emmanuel's shaking his head no.
No, I don't think so.
If he hasn't, then Ali and Tasha are going to get the victory. That'll put Ali in line for a title shot.
Fair. I honestly can't remember the last title shot he had in TNA, but I know that was the one that caused him to go, because I remember he had that depression stint. Actually, has he challenged for the TNA World Championship? I don't think he has. No, he hasn't. I don't think he actually has.
Didn't he challenge for it when Joe Hendry had it?
No, he never did challenge him for it. I know it was Ethan Page, Frank Azarian, I know Nick Nemeth, and then we all talk about what happened with the disaster of that when he lost it. But I'm pretty sure that Mustafa Ali has never challenged for the TNA World Championship. We know he challenged the House of Glory Championship because we, of course, covered Charles Mason, that crazy psychopath. We know he's challenged for the NXT North American Championship against All Ego Ethan Page, but I don't think he's ever challenged for the TNA World Championship. And, of course, the only accolade he's had in TNA was when he beat freaking Chris Sabin in the main event No Surrender when he first came to TNA for the X Division champion, and it was one of the most prolific X Division champions before he lost it to Spear My Belly at Slammiversary. I think I literally just summed up Mustafa Ali's TNA career. Wow.
So I've got Ali and Tasha here.
And I think based on what I just said, I kind of have to agree. Honestly, again, if he doesn't get some sort of chance for some sort of golden accolade, what is he doing here? I know he lost the Guitar Coffin match, but look at his freaking physique. Look at his style. Look at his new finisher. He's come back more driven and crazier than ever. And I think now we just got Tasha Steelz and Jada Stone as a buffer because the Order 4 has more than one agenda, clearly. So I think that honestly, Tasha Steelz and Mustafa Ali have to get the dub here too, by hook and by crook, and it's probably by Special Agent Zero if needed. I gotta agree with you. Can't believe there's a rarity, folks. I gotta go with the Order 4 on this one. In Ali, I don't trust, but I do trust he's gonna do what he needs to get the win by hook and by crook. Charles, I did see your.
I did want to say something else while it was my turn. Emmanuel, do you know yet if you're going to Vegas for Mania?
No.
I'm not sure, to be honest. We're waiting for the price to drop down, to be honest. But we'll let you know.
Because I was going to say, if you're going to be up there, Jada Stone is going to be part of the Ladies Night Out show, and you can see her wrestle live and in person.
Yeah, I know that. That's on the list, the mighty list,
the list.
The 70-something people that Telly has announced so far, and apparently there's still more.
And stay tuned more. Yep.
But to say that match card really intrigues me. Like that's some lineup for all the ladies. Like wow.
Yeah, and only one match has been announced. So that's why I was asking, because you mentioned being unfamiliar with Jada Stone. I was going to say, if you're going to be up there, go to that show because you get to see her live and in person.
And of course, if you all want to get more of your fix on all women's professional wrestling, damn it, please check out Ladies Night Out 16 in Las Vegas if you're in the area, courtesy of Title Match Network. And also check out Pull Down Mania, courtesy at San Antonio. You can follow them on the X for further information. Tickets are still available today. There will be links in the description down below for both shows. And please stay tuned to Both Studios. We not only will cover both shows during their time in Las Vegas WrestleMania week, we will also, of course, be providing further interviews and further updates and discussions to come for women in wrestling in and out of both those shows and much more. Please stay tuned here to SR Studios 24 on the X for further details. Thank you. That being said, support women in wrestling. Damn it. Thank you, JJ. And thank you, Emmanuel. And Emmanuel, if you are going, good luck and God help your wallet. Charles, I did see your hand over there. What do you got to say real quick regarding this match? Now we get back to our regular scheduled programming.
Yeah, regular scheduled programming. I am shocked that Ali has not gone after Mike Santana or the world title scene yet.
It's really funny considering I'm pretty sure when he first was campaigning that we need great leaders and Mike Santana was not the leader we needed. Santana got to bear him in that feud, and I'm pretty sure what someone saw live at Rebellion in a Falls Count Anywhere type match or just a one-on-one match follow-up. And then Ali had his first stint of depression before Tasha Steelz reinvigorated the Order 4, and now we fast forward the clock. Here's Ali, and here comes our main event after this. Anyway, continue.
That's the deal with them. Like, if I know he's not gone, then I rekindled this. By the way, yes, I agree to this too. We need this to happen.
Stop it. They're all asleep. You all stop it.
Yeah, but yeah. Just it's very questionable. Like, how they could just not have rekindled that rivalry, but this time with the world title involved.
Well, to your point, does Ali want the TNA National Championship, or does he want momentum to get back to what he believes is truly his self-fulfilling promise, the TNA World Championship? Talk about a long-term story if Ali's the one to upset the TNA World Champion, current holding in it. Just saying. But either way, yeah, I'm going to go with the Order 4 here as well. All right. Well, this has truly been one of the most ridiculous things that I can remember. I got blasted by Jeff Meacham for insulting somebody. I truly have raised my blood pressure.
Not just somebody, the king of TNA.
Okay, yes.
You did deserve that, Noah, to be fair.
I'm not gonna
That's all
say.
we need this to happen, people.
First off,
And
no.
Dwayne, he says you're asleep. Prove him wrong, Dwayne.
Shut up, JJ.
Exactly.
Prove
I am
him
not.
wrong.
Prove
I am
Noah wrong.
fucking hell. Thank goodness again. Thank goodness that there's at least one thing I fucking do care about on TNA, and that is the bunny trying to come back to life. Yeah. Rosemary, don't fuck this up. Carlos Silva, don't fuck this up. That being said, a lot of wild tangents, sub tangents, laugh discussions, headaches, pressures. Dan Luna, you better fucking bring that championship back home. Damn it, I'm sick of this NXT bullshit. Let's go ahead and get right into our main event. Speaking of the TNA World Championship, newly re-signed and reinstated after being fired via feast or fired, assaulting Tom Hannigan, and literally being given this opportunity just to see Mike Santana get to kick his ass. Boy, will he regret it or not. Let's find out. It is Mike Santana defending the TNA World Championship against, you heard me right, folks, Steve Maclin. And of course, Santana asked for this. He wanted them to reinstate freaking Steve Maclin. And Daria Ray agreed that Maclin should have been reinstated and officially reinstated him. But when he faces Santana, it is up to her. Not. As Santana Marella decided to drop a huge announcement. And in Sacrifice, it will be Mike Santana defending the TNA World Championship against Steve Maclin. And Daria, of course, Kyrie again didn't agree with it. The caring feelings. Nonetheless, we've also seen these two go face to face. Of course, Mike Santana confronted by his own demons of the past. Steve Maclin, of course, has been always dealing with his own demons, being a former military man. They did go face to face. It was non-physical. Santana reminisced about the first time he came to TNA. And if you all remember, here's a funny story for you. For those that didn't follow TNA as long as I have, Steve Maclin was once in Las Vegas at Rebellion, saying he resigned to TNA. And then the realist came home on his own, Mike Santana, and beat Steve Maclin that night. Literally, Mike Santana's beginning, or should I say new beginning in TNA, was at the expense of Steve Maclin. And Mike Santana feels like ever since then, he feels like it's made it past his superpower, thinks Maclin has made it past his excuse. Of course, Maclin talking about his past experiences in Afghanistan. Steve Maclin and Mike Santana right now, we're really willing to see now who's ready to sacrifice. There's the name of the show for you folks. So let's see right now, after Mike Santana basically told Steve Maclin, you're a selfless individual, and Maclin yelled out, I'm selfless! Damn right, I'm selfless! Blaming that on his mistakes to the point he assaulted him prior to being reinstated at No Surrender. We've seen him try and get involved when Mike Santana and Leon Slater were in tag team action. We've also seen Steve Maclin try to instigate Mike Santana in kicking his ass, where there has been a no physical clause involved in this. If either man got involved, the match would be thrown out and there would be consequences, courtesy of the director of authority and Daria Ray. Again, power struggle here, folks. It is what it is. But now we finally have made it to the point where they could beat the shit out of each other, and we later will find out who's going to get what they deserve, who's willing to sacrifice more. After we saw Mike Santana and Leon Slater overcome the system, Eddie Edwards and Cedric Alexander, there's nothing standing between these two men now but a few hours. So bottom line, guys, Steve Maclin's a former TNA World Champion. He literally won it at Rebellion against Kushida on his only run. And Mike Santana, he wanted to be the standard. He's now the standard, and he's been the standard of TNA wrestling. But the fact that you know that Eddie Edwards and, for the matter of what it's worth, Leon Slater could also be waiting in the wings. Are we guaranteed a new TNA World Champion at the end of Sacrifice? And could it not be one of these two men on the screen? And yes, I will include in the bonus, will Eddie Edwards cash in his opportunity? Yes or no? You all could add that to the conversation if you want to. So whether or not you think Steve Maclin deserves this chance on his reinstatement at the behest of the champion, that's not for you to agree or disagree, because Mike Santana, he's the guy with the gold. He's got the flu influence here, and Santana Marella agrees with it, even if Daria Ray doesn't. Do you have a new champion? Let's find out what you all think. Let's go around the horn and talk about this main event in depth. And again, think about what this leads to. at Rebellion, where right now TNA might as well be underneath a friggin' rebellious attitude. Good grief. I'm going to start with you, Emmanuel. What do you think about the TNA World Championship situation? Mike Santana, of course, who's held this title down for the calendar year, for being perfectly honest here, after outlasting both Frank Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, as well as keeping his eye on Leon Slater, mutual respect, and knowing that Eddie Edwards could come in at any time, but he's been able to spin his block countlessly. Steve Maclin right now, though, has been the #1 prime target in his crosshairs on site. So is it one and done? Are we finally done with these two and this feud? Was the reinstatement all for naught? What does it lead to? Do you have a new TNA World Champion? Go ahead.
Yeah, like I'm about to say, no, like did I miss a week that when Nemeth already used the cup, like, or not? Like I don't think he did, right?
Pretty sure that he did at this point. Then again, Nick Nemeth is so relevant to me. I don't even think about that. Hell, Nick Nemeth, he freaking tried to take the X Division Championship, and Leon Slater beat him.
Well, all right, I'll look it up right now. But yeah, like for me, like this is a hard one because if you're not gonna fire Steve Maclin, then why make him drop out in this match? So my mentality is Steve Maclin for the win. If not, like what was the point of him turning heel and not be able to capitalize his opportunity for this championship? Like this is like once in a lifetime opportunity to get that championship again. Like, but at the same time, like Eddie Edwards, like he has his college shot. So I'm like, is the excellent question. Like, does he actually pull the trigger? But I don't think so. So, my mentality is stick Maclin for the win, and Eddie Edwards might cash it in on Steve Maclin, like, and that's which makes him flip even more. So, in this match, Steve Maclin wins. Then a cash in from Eddie because he went to war.
Ah, shit. You're right. He does still have the fucking cup. So I guess there's Leon Slater, Nick Nemeth, Eddie Edwards, and right now Steve Maclin. So the champion's being attacked on all sides. Shit. All right. Well, as a bonus question then, because who knows? Can we get cause and effect not once, but twice on Sacrifice? Who's willing to sacrifice their only chance to become TNA World Champion at the expense of a weakened Mike Santana? Or possibly a different Mike Santana? I guess there's more different ways this could go than I thought, but Nick never already had his moment of glory. All right. I'm just saying. But okay, that being said, you do have a new champion, and you at least got, as far as the marquee goes, you got Steve Maclin.
Yeah, I have Steve Maclin for the one because, like I said, like what's I don't understand this angle. If you fire him just to bring him back, just for him to lose this this opportunity and this heel turn feels invalid. Like why? Like, he just didn't need to get fired if they're gonna cop this out. Like, let's ignore him getting fired. Like, don't worry about it. Like, he's gonna get re-signed either way. So,
well, I mean,
there has to be more. There has to be more reason for the storyline.
I'm not gonna. I am gonna say this. In the past, Feast or fired candidates have found a way back, male and female. I'm just saying, but I do understand what you mean about it being of empty value. And again, lost the TNA National Championship, lost his job, reinstated, loses out on the TNA World Championship. What do you do now? I do get what you mean. All right, well, he's got Steve Maclin. Well, that in mind, let's go to Charles, where we go to the filibuster, storyteller, and the cause and effect playout of the panel here to close things out. Charles, what do you think about this? I mean, again, you know that Tom Hannigan, who's supposed to be impartial and unbiased. Lord knows I'm not, because I don't have to be, damn, I'm not under contract. You know that he wants Mike Santana to, how do I put this eloquently? Mike Tenay levels of commentary kick Steve Maclin's ass. So, again, it's one of those things right now that it feels like Steve Maclin has forced his way into the championship picture, and karma could be a bitch, or realist in this case. of the nastiest. What do you think about the situation here? Do you have a new TNA World Champion? Does Mike Santana spin Macklin's block and outlast the competition that's coming after him?
I don't know what the fuck. It's just about this. Yeah, on one hand, the fact that Steve Mack was even back very quickly after that Feast or Fire match was like, gee, that was a little quick. You could have just done this months later. It's not, at least not, within what? Not even that week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Give or take, but who's counting? Continue.
Exactly. It's like, God, it's stupid. But then you kind of dilemma. Like, Dane just Mike got the belt back. What 2, 3 months ago?
Yes.
Back. It's like, do you want to take the title off him now? But then, what's the point of the Steve Magwin thing? You just did all this, so you were just going to lose.
Well,
Like,
you consider that Mike Santana beat Frank Kazarian in a freaking Texas Death match, might I add, with Nick Nemeth, the special guest referee, and Nick Nemeth tried to call his shot, and he got his block spun. And then, of course, we go to No Surrender. It was supposed to be Santana and Slater, but Macklin came there, assaulted him, turned a handicap, and somehow, of course, it was Eddie Edwards and Nemeth that were the opposition side, since Kazarian no longer has a, what's the word I'm looking for? Ballot in the box, I guess, for the championship. It's just one of those things right now where I look at the TNA World Championship, I focus on Eddie Edwards. I guess I have to remind myself that Nemeth does still have the cup. Duh. And Leon Slater. But I do understand what you mean now that Macklin has just interjected himself back in the championship picture.
yeah, that's why I see Mike keeping the title. I just see it that way. This whole entire thing is just all over the place. Just weird. Like,
Well,
what the hell you do with Steve Macklin after this?
I guess you'll find out soon enough in victory or defeat. But that being said, you got Mike Santana holding on to it just for some clarity.
Yeah.
Could I imagine what your brain's going to do if Mike Santana loses it? All right.
Don't get me started.
Well, we got one retainment and one change. And that being said, I acknowledge your hand. What do you guys say real quick?
Don't be surprised if we see throughout the match, Nick Nemeth comes out and Mike Santana gets distracted. And then Eddie Edwards comes out, Mike Santana gets distracted. And that's how he loses the title, because there's too many distractions. There's too much outcomes. Like, there has to be a breaking point for this outcome. I understand Charles' point of view, but I just let you know that there's too much heels coming out trying to get that title. So
fair.
So,
well, I mean, again, we know Eddie Edwards. He's got to face Moose, and if Moose wants to literally shut down the system, he's got to make sure Eddie Edwards is nowhere near that world championship picture. And the lesser Nemeth, he's taking on BDE, and BDE is still looking for his first singles win in TNA wrestling, which means Nick Nemeth will more likely be focusing on maybe calling his shot. So I do understand what you mean. And you also got to consider who calls their shot first, who stops the other if both have the same plan at the same time. Does the system not have a plan already put in play to prevent Nemeth's involvement? Again, a lot of moving pieces here, but to your point, it's 3 heels and 1 face right now we're dealing with in the TNA World Championship picture, despite this being a 1-on-1 match. But nonetheless, I got Mike Santana retaining. I'm just going to leave it at that because there's just too many moving pieces right now for this to all just go, he does a thing, fails. He does a thing, fails. He's back here because why? Fails. And this point, if you're going to maybe put Mustafa Ali back in the equation, you got to remove all these elements. And I'm looking more towards the long game where I think about who truly should challenge Mike Santana for the championship. If Ali can find a way to put himself back in the driver's seat in the championship conversation, I would say him. And I think he's overdue for it personally, too, based on Mike Santana Ali's history. So looking towards that, maybe being the end game of this run, I got to say Santana retains. And that just leaves JJ to try and put this, and this all together if he chooses. or simply close his thing out short, sweet, and simple to the point, which I know he won't. So, JJ, what do you think about this fuck? We got Mike Santana dealing with Steve Macklin, and he's got to keep his blind spot, knowing he's got Eddie Edwards and Nick Nemeth breathing down his neck, and possibly out of mutual respect, if we do hit a turning point, not a breaking point, maybe Leon Slater at if they announce Destination X. I don't know. What do you think about all of this? And do you have a new TNA World Champion in general?
Okay.
Good luck.
So there was a little conversation earlier about all the people that have been fired have come back.
Well, some. I didn't say all.
A lot of them.
Yes.
So first of all, justice for Yuya Uemura. Secondly, have any of them come back as quickly as Macklin did?
Maybe Velvet Sky? Trying to think about that one. That's the one I think about the most. Because she wasn't meant to have the briefcase. That freaking crook gave it to her. Because she good and she good. And anyway, and by the way, congrats to Yuya Uemura's incredible run. And it's been long enough. I'm sorry, Ash. I know your girl don't have time, but your simple man does. Subscribe to Bad for Wrestling, folks. Spoiler. Beep, 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 beep. Yuya Uemura made it to the finals of the New Japan Cup. The winner of this year's New Japan Cup was Kyle Newman, and he will challenge Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Sakura Genesis. Pending coverage, folks, on the live watch-along schedule. Stay tuned. And now back to regular scheduled programming. Cheers, pal. Back to you.
So here's my thought process here. Macklin's contract expired.
Yes.
So they fired him during contract negotiations.
Yes.
He saw how the company in Jacksonville was treating his wife.
Oh, I
and
see.
Was like, fuck that shit. I'm coming back.
No.
And they had to come up with an angle to bring him back.
That very well could play. I mean, I'm not, again, we don't know the story, but I mean, that very well could play. I'm not going to, hold that against your thought.
I agree with a lot of what people are saying, that if you're going to bring him back, you need to build him up. But with not one, but two loose ends out there.
Shit.
3, if you count option C. I don't know if they pull that here. Because I could see a situation where Santana retains. And then Nemeth calls his shot. And Santana retains. And then Eddie cashes in his briefcase and walks out with the championship. Now that his wife is realigned with him, the system defeating Vincent and Jeff by my predictions.
Yes.
And the system is on top once again. Which is why I will never trust the system. I mean, they're calling the show Sacrifice for a reason.
And yet, Michael calls Santana the most selfish man in the building.
This could be Santana's sacrifice. Because when you are with me, I'm free.
There it is. I was waiting for the Creed reference. This actually would probably be more worthwhile to watch if they actually had Creed back them up as an official song. Anyway, continue.
Hey, WrestleMania's got Nickelback, damn it.
Agreed.
I
can hear Creed.
Go ahead, Charles. Go ahead. You were saying.
I got to hear a Creed song for AJ Styles' retirement hype video and Nickelback being a WrestleMania theme in 1 year. I'm good for life.
You know, that ironically enough, I can actually agree with because I actually care about both. Continue.
So I've got Santana to retain the title because that's all we're picking here.
Correct, as far as this match.
And remember, folks, we're on the last match. If you want Noah to sing Sweet Caroline in a
Stop
white
it.
shirt,
Stop it. It's not
your
gonna happen.
time is ticking.
Not gonna happen.
Tick
All right.
tock. Tick tock.
Everyone's asleep. Everyone's asleep in the East Coast. No one's spending money on the West Coast. At the end of the month, they got bills to worry
Oh,
about.
Arlene.
Arlene's got to focus on education. All right, she's got
Oh,
more than enough to do on that.
Arlene.
Bianca Parasso knows a figure or two about that. Support her, folks. They're 70 Hampshire University. All right, and congratulations, by the way, Bianca Parasso. Great successful defense in the Bremer Women's Pure Championship, by the way, against Robin Renegade. Took her down to the 3.5-minute mark, but again, the master of Fujiwara armbar, long may she fucking reign, was successful. Damn good stuff by the Women of Honor, by the way, across all 4 matches. Taylor Steele is really coming into her home. Indeed, the real deal. That being said, all right, so that being said, we do believe in this case that most of us believe that Mike Santana should retain against Steve Macklin because Steve Macklin doesn't deserve it, hasn't earned it, hasn't built up for it. At the end of the day, Mike Santana...
I disagree with you. I believe he deserves it. I believe he earned it. I just don't think this is the moment for it.
Well, you know.
There's a difference. I believe Santana will retain, just like I believe in Chase University.
Never believe in that. Unaccredited institution. There's a reason why it's closed. But nonetheless...
Just like Noah believes in Joe Hendry.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Believe.
Damn it. And for those that
and
don't
just
know,
like I believe that Noah will have to sing Sweet Caroline in a white shirt.
Nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Y'all go to bed. Okay, well, that being said, before I get any more tirade, and speaking of Joe Hendry, for those that don't know, Joe Hendry will defend the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver in a fatal 4-way match against Tony D, Ricky Saints, and All Eagle Ethan Page, available for free on YouTube. That being said, most of us got Mike Santana retaining, and we'll see what happens as far as the call your shot, the option C, the friggin' briefcase goes. But I don't think none of them come into play at Sacrifice. The big money show is Rebellion. You got to try and fill out that building. I know how big that building is. Good luck, TNA. You're going to need it. So maybe with those 4 men, you could do an NXT and book a fatal 4-way. I don't know. But nonetheless, I don't got Mike Santana losing. He's the only legitimate player right now holding gold in TNA wrestling. Not named my boy Trey Miguel, but their international championship is not even 1 year old for those that remember. But Mike Santana's retained. But that's Sacrifice, folks. Why we sacrifice more than enough brain cells, and I sacrifice more than enough of my blood pressure where I know I'm going to need this in the morning. What are your predictions for TNA? What are your predictions for the championships? What's your wildest outcome that you think could happen at Sacrifice? Who sacrifices the most to get what they want the most? Let us know your thoughts in the comments in the chat, of course, below as we conclude tonight's stream. And I thank you all once again. Again, if you want to be part of the TNA League or you are part of it, and that includes the panelists here, the forum will be live 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my X and on YouTube. Get your predictions in. They will be due 7 p.m. Eastern 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, of course, talking about March 27th. Good luck to everybody, and let's see how you all do and making your own impact. Well, let's go ahead and get the fuck out of here before this goes any more off the rails and I lose any more blood pressure or brain cells or sleep. Thank you all once again for being part of the thing, and thank you all once again for being part of the conversation in and out of the screen and on the chat. Charles, always a pleasure, though. Where can people connect and find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at DreWTalkRandall.
And there you have it, folks. Full on screen.
And believe it, Chase U.
No, don't believe in Chase U. We've already discussed this. And no, that's enough, JJ. It's not going to happen. All right. Thank you for that, Charles. Manuel, Interactive Games and Movies owner, of course, and TNA Predictions League participant. Again, subscribe to his channel, folks, both channels. Go ahead and tell other people who can find you and promote your stuff and your other half, too.
Yes, you can follow me at Facebook, United Dominguez, at Instagram, EDM7224, You can follow my sister, Pauline Dominguez, at Facebook and Instagram. And also on the X, ADM73244. And for interactive games and movies, you could now see my review of Crime 101. That's with Liam Hemsworth, Halle Berry, and Mark Ruffalo. And
I recognize one of those names.
Yeah, so if you like spy heist movies, this is the movie for you. So I gave it. I forgot my rating, but I gave it a solid 8.5 out of 10. So if you want to see the review, if you're not going to see the movie, see the review. But if you want to see the movie, I recommend it. Go see it. Promote your local theaters, please, because we don't want movies to come out in Netflix, the boring Netflix movie originals or the whatever app we have. Please don't let theaters die out, and go out, smell the popcorn, get some drinks.
Smell the popcorn.
Yeah, it's true. And hopefully I will post more games in the future and more movie reviews. I'm like, it's one of those things that I need to motivate myself. So it's my fault for not providing more content. So for my part, I'm sorry, but I will try my best to do more better.
At the end of the day, YouTube is a passion project, but your priorities have to come before your passions, and also moderation and direction and dedication is key. So I respect you and good luck continuing forward, of course, in that endeavor. Before I, of course, bid things and you all find adieu, JJ, always a pleasure, even though you piss me off sometimes and maybe we never fully agree on everything, but I always still appreciate you. Go ahead and tell the people can find you. Holy hell.
Okay. So you can find me on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams. YouTube Casa D18 Studios, X Casa D18 Studio, no S at the end. You can also find me on X at ROWJJ Williams, and I man the SR Studios 2024 X account. Even though all four of us, myself, Noah, Walter, and James, have access to it, I am the most active on it, as that's how I've been locking in all of these interviews we've been doing. Which, speaking of interviews, go back into the archives and check out our interview with Rachel Lay.
Princess of Perfection.
Check out our interview with Brittany Blake, the Poder Mania champion.
Wonderful cosplayer.
Check out our interview with the Poder Mania ring announcer, Heather Lynn.
What a hockey enthusiast. Speaking of.
Check out Kaya McKenna, the Conduit of Karma, and our interview with her.
Mental health advocate. Respect.
Check out Miss Blue Pants herself, Leva Bates.
She dresses, she plays, she cons, she streams, she wrestles, she does everything. Wonderful individual.
Check out our interview with the Ladies Night Out and Hurricane Pro Women's Champion, top tier Jasmine Allure.
Queen of Indies, in my opinion. Respect.
Check out the interview we just had earlier today with Telly Bistis from Ladies Night Out and Title Match Network. Yes, for those of you that are unaware, the man we talked to today runs Title Match Network, a alternative streaming service like Triller, very much focused on the Texas independent wrestling scene, very heavy focus on women's independent wrestling promotions.
Damn it, mad respect. Love the platform.
All those interviews, except for Telly's, because it hasn't been uploaded yet, you can now find on Spotify. Just go on Spotify and look up Saturday Shenanigans, and you'll find all of those interviews in audio form, as well as our interviews with the Puerto Rican Pitbull, Gino Rivera, the Epic, Doug Malo, La Princesa, Tiffany Nieves, Ed Laredo, the owner and operator of Poder Mania, and the right hand of God, Sam Knight. All those interviews are available on Spotify.
Look at you going across multiple forms of communication endeavors. And speaking of podcasts, quick thank you to AEW Unrestricted for the laughs and the stories shared, as that officially has come to an end. So thank you, Aubrey Edwards, Tony Schiavone, Will Washington, Stephanie Sophia, I believe, who was the producer, and everyone who was involved in that show, making it a wonderful form of listen for stories, previews, hype, and entertainment. All the best. Again, thank you so much, JJ. And again, folks, thank you all for tuning in. As always, again, he wasn't here, but he is still simply reliable. Reliable. So again, if you haven't already, subscribe and follow today the Rage of Wrestling, Walter Cruz. There you see the social medias right there at Walter Alex Cruz on the X and on Blue Sky, if people still look at that. Primarily, though, the brainchild is YouTube. Subscribe today to Rage of Wrestling. I mentioned her earlier. Don't be a dickhead. Join Barry's Army today at Barry for Wrestling. Me and her, of course, did a baddie bracket breakdown for the beginning of New Japan Cup. We may cover Sakura Genesis. If nothing else, preview it or review it. Stay tuned for further Japanese, AEW, pop culture, and further women's wrestling focused content at Baddie for Wrestling Today. Note to self,
Noah.
at the top right-hand corner. What?
Noah, I have a question. Is that the guy I'm going to be seeing at 2 different shows in Vegas?
Oh, yes. You will be seeing him at Bloodsport and Effie's Big Gay Brunch. One of the many times that we'll be involved in multiple showcases across all things professional wrestling, damn it, in and out of the GCW collective, and so much more during Las Vegas week, WrestleMania week. And again, follow the Cinema Studios for further coverage, announcements, discussions, watch-alongs, interactments, and so much more regarding everything that happened during WrestleMania week, your one-stop spot for professional wrestling coverage. And again, don't be
Damn it.
And we don't digress on that. And don't digress on either following Barry for Wrestling as well. The genesis, of course, of her YouTube channel is still heavily underway. Get her numbers up. Subscribe to her today. Become accurate. Also, that's a mighty good shot. And speaking of mighty, follow our Mighty Pink Power Ranger, my fellow NOLA partner and TNA Faithful Court. At least I think she's still TNA Faithful. At Rangers of Wrestling. There you see the social medias right there. Whether it's about Power Rangers, pop culture, TNA Wrestling, or someone else for everyone to be aware of. So follow Datilla today. I just got done working with Papa Gino for the promoting our stuff, but also please check out his podcast, of course, at Major Push Wrestling, where me, Dan, Chris, the Oofman, and him had a conversation on John Cena, the good, the medium, and the bad of his last calendar year, as far as the wrestling spear goes.
Should have had a manual on there.
You realize that would probably be more than 5 hours worth for doing a manual over here.
To be fair, it was less than 2 hours, and I know he would have nothing to say. But again, Papadino, he always keeps it real. He always has something to say. Support my brother, my fellow statistics cohort and predictions postmortem, okay? So follow Papadino as you see on the YouTube right there. Do it today, or he'll whack you, all right, to keep it real. And again, as you heard JJ and all the endeavors that he leads, encourages, and does here for the Studios, he also, of course, hosts the weekly moderate conversation of Wrestling Madness known as the Saturday Shenanigans. Yes, I know I've been out the last couple of weekends. 2 weekends ago, I had no power for nearly 60 hours, and last weekend I was sick. But I assure you, somehow I will have the clock, and I will be available this Saturday night for Saturday Shenanigans. Please stay tuned for the entire Survivor Studios family for more on that as well. And of course, before
the regular scheduled Shenanigans, don't forget we will be having another one of our interviews. La Leona, Alejandra Quintanilla, will be joining us 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, and then the regular Shenanigans will be immediately following.
And of course, you can continue staying tuned for who is next, because there's a whole lot more to follow that, including, as you heard from our earlier interview today, Izzy Moreno and Brooke Havoc, former student of the Nightmare Factory, previously involved in Pro Wrestling Noah, queen of emo punks, I believe, is her last tagline I saw. I got to go double check that. And a great rising star, most certainly. And again, stay tuned for further inclusive details regarding all things women's professional wrestling, especially here at the Civilized Studios. So the reason why we have that Porter Mania logo in the bottom right-hand corner, So again, if you haven't got your tickets, there will be a link in the description down below. Get your tickets today for Pull Down Mania, this All-Women Showcase, and get your tickets also for Title Match Network's Ladies Night Out 16. Again, there will be links in the description down below, not only the Title Match Network, but to both shows. As of course, here's the entire card for Pull Down Mania. We will have Ed in San Antonio following him on the X today at Edward Laredo for further information regarding this incredible all-women showcase, because there are going to be multiple incredible all-women showcases throughout WrestleMania week. Support women in wrestling and women's wrestling today. And if you want to further engage with me, part of Predictions Leagues, be part of these panels that I moderate, participate, collab with, engage with, and sometimes deal with on a regular basis. Find me if you choose, Ben Foster 1916 on the X and on YouTube. For I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! And again, if you want to be part of Predictions Leagues, it's on the X and on YouTube always. So follow me if you choose, and then Foster 1916. And that's all I gotta say, promote, encourage, and remind you all about when it comes to the affiliates, the friends, the content to come, and what we are all dealing with. But as always, I'd like to remind you, there are no winners, no losers, no betters, just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, matter how much they drive you batshit crazy. And just be alive and enjoy professional wrestling. It's truly as simple as that. The next to be beginning will be AEW Dynasty, and then of course, God help me, 2 nights of WrestleMania, and of course NXT, we will have a stand-up to be dating because again, as an advocate for all things wrestling, gotta give the women love there as well, and I will, of course, do a sleepy dating on that. As of course, I host leagues for WWE, NXT, AEW, and TNA. DCW is still underway, but we're just taking periods of time. Stay tuned for further details regarding that, courtesy of JJ and all other endeavors. But those are the next sleepy dating to come, so stay tuned. And again, we'll be here covering Sacrifice. We will cover Ring of Honor, Global Wars, MLP at some point, but it won't be live since it's a paid service on Triller, and we have other priorities and other obligations to deal with. So stay tuned for all that's ahead here at the Simple Reliable Studios. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, whether live or on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell hit the bell to know when the next video goes live or on demand here on this Simple YouTube channel or any of the channels and the affiliated platforms here at the Simple Reliable Studios, whether YouTube or on the X. I assure you the content, the passion, the creativity, the drive to bring more awareness to women's professional wrestling is not going to let up anytime soon. But what will finally let up is my voice, as in fine kinematic fashion, I must bid you all now a fine adieu. For the Renegade Wrestling, JJ Williams. For Charles Schultz, who got out of the manhole cover tonight. For John Cena's biggest fan, Emmanuel Dominguez. And for all of you in and out of your actual conversation in the chat, for Safet, for Nick, for Daniel, and for, of course, Dwayne Atkinson, who did not friggin' buy into your madness, and for Matt Helms, who, of course, I always acknowledge because he always give us a subscribe, a thumbs up, and ask us how we are. Thank you all so much, and until it's time to sacrifice in TNA Wrestling, I bid you all now goodbye. So make a positive impact in life, and have a good night, and thank you for tuning in to another crazy edition of Simply Predicting Anything But. Have a good night, folks, and again, don't sacrifice your time unless it's worth your time to watch TNA Sacrifice. Take care.
Support Chase U.
No,
Indeed. Believe in Chase U.
Nope, never believe in Chase U. It's an unaccredited institution, all right? And I'm hitting the button because you're
Enroll in Chase University and believe in Joe Hendry.
Damn it, JJ, you fucker!
Say his name and he appears.
What?
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Just once I want to fucking hit the button before you trigger that, you son of a bitch!
And walk with Elijah.
Noah,
Ugh.
do you
What?
believe in Ren Sinclair at least? She want to tell her, Ren Sinclair, do you believe in her?
It's a speedometer sticker.